Ask Dell.
Air Comfort Service heating and cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Still a fairly quiet weather pattern, though. A weak cool front trying to push in from the north. It never really gets here. Partly to mostly sunny skies this afternoon. With that front close, maybe a spot shower or thunder shower late. Don't count on it. 88 for the high. Tonight, a spot evening shower or thunder shower. Otherwise, partly cloudy. 68 Friday, quiet times. Partly sunny, 88. Same story Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Now we found out this week that in Virginia, the Department of Education wants to remove Washington as the father of our country, Madison as the father of the Constitution. Winsome Sears says,
we do have a new sheriff in town, and his name is Glenn Youngkin, and we have a team. But we're not going to let people destroy what we're doing here in our America, because that's what ultimately they're hoping for.
Keep it here.
Well, this new administration is not having it.
97.1 FM Talk.
I love my floors.
We hear it all the time at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Our vast selection includes floor and wall products unavailable elsewhere.
And our design staff makes it easy to find the right colors, styles, and products to fit your budget.
Now save up to $1,000 off Mohawk hardwood, carpet, and luxury vinyl during the Mohawk Summer Sale event at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
And get the finest installation by our 100 employee master craftsmen.
Love your floors and experience more at Ambassador
Midwest Floor.
Sell your car the easy way at Bomarito. No matter what kind of vehicle you have or what shape it's in, car, truck, van, or SUV, just go to Bomarito.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll give you an instant real purchase offer. Then we'll come to you, or you come to us, and we'll pay you on the spot. So when you're ready to sell your vehicle, go to Bomarito first. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow, and hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
If you need last-minute hires in no time, you need Indeed. Their integrated hiring solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Mark Cox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Kilmeade.
How about this?
Annie Fry.
Wow, we really got to change course.
Mark Reardon.
coming together.
Dana Lash.
I mean, it's 2022.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
If you're in 10th grade, 9th grade, your college of your dream, by the time you go there, the tuition is going to be much higher.
Unless we do something.
This stokes tuition higher. All of these things. When President Obama kicked out the middleman and said, you know what, the government can do this better than the private sector, we'll rubber stamp everything.
He took control of all the student loans.
Right. And this is all of a sudden student loans became the number one debt out there. It just skyrocketed right through the roof.
Man, I'm soaking in people right now reacting to what we have been saying for, I mean, honestly, probably a year and a half, because the entire time that Joe Biden has been the president, this has always been, in my opinion, no pun intended, the Trump card. Student loan debt. And I think they kicked the can down the road as much as they possibly could on this particular issue, because they knew it's in my opinion, in case of emergency, break glass. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Thursday. This is a big Thursday on the Annie Frey Show. Why? Well, first of all, our in-studio guest at 1 o'clock today. Of course, when you're listening to the Annie Frey Show on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, you know TYRUS is on the show. But now TYRUS is going to be at the show, which is even cooler. He's going to be in studio here with us. And I decided the best possible thing we could do is give him Ryan Wiggins' chair. That's how we planned out the studio.
Yes, absolutely.
Brad was like, shouldn't we put him here? And I'm like, I think we should.
Yeah.
I think
lighting's great.
It's all of the things that Ryan demands on a daily basis. We only want to give the best to TYRUS when he's in studio with us. So he had not my spot, but Ryan's very
particular. I don't know how TYRUS is going to feel about that bowl of stale gummy bears, only blue, but
we got rid of them.
Did we?
Yes.
Good.
We got rid of them. Sorry, Ryan. We're going to do Wiggins America at 1:45 today. We're going to move it back an hour. Why? Well, Rick Santorum is going to be on the Annie Frey Show. Super excited to talk to him. What for? This is a topic that I have heard from you bringing it to me like, Annie, what about this? What about this? What about this? Over and over and over again. He is part of the Convention of States project. Now, do you know what a Convention of States is? And if you don't, you're going to want to listen to this at 12:45. Everything that we're going to talk about on a daily basis when it comes to news and headlines really does come back to a Convention of States. This has a lot to do with the power and the authority of states in the United States of America, as opposed to what? I don't know, overly oppressive, bloated federal government that gets to do things like take money from you to pay off the student loans of them. So we're going to talk to Rick Santorum about, and when I asked him to come on the show, I said, would you please just give us like an explainer? You don't need to convince us. I think you could probably just explain it and it would convince quite a few people. But I don't know. It's a topic that I hear about a lot. Are you interested?
I'm familiar with it. I'm not like well versed in it. I am interested in it. I have concerns about it, because basically it's a gathering where they can change the Constitution. It's one of the ways that you can change the Constitution. And that's exciting in some ways, because like if you want to put term limits on, getting, the Congress to pass a constitutional amendment is going to be near impossible. But a convention of states will put term limits on, and they don't need the Congress to do that. But it makes me worry, like, what could the other side do if they used it, and there's stuff like that. Like,
I think the other side could pull together a convention of states.
Well, I don't know. But are there guardrails if we put one together that would stop any overreach, right? If the goal is to shrink the power of the federal government, is there guardrails that would prevent the federal government from actually expanding?
All good questions for Rick Santorum at 12:45. And I'm super excited to have that conversation. So stick around for that. And then, of course, at 12:25, we're going to talk with Hans von Spakovsky. We found out that there has been a submission of what redactions would be involved in the affidavit that we learned last week. The judge said that they would not require it to remain sealed. What are all the details behind this? I, like you, I'm not an expert on all of this. I have to sometimes go back into the back of the book and read the boldface vocabulary words to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I still don't know what I'm talking about. So we get the experts on here, and Hans von Spakovsky is the top expert when it comes to these types of legal issues. He is a DOJ lawyer, and he's very well versed on this. So we're going to get the lay of the land from Hans von Spakovsky at 12:25. So a really, really big show. And then tomorrow, of course, we have the TYRUS event in Edwardsville at the Wildy Theater. So we want to make sure that you're here with us throughout the day. If you go in and out of your car, if you're listening on 97.1 FM Talk, remember that you can upload that Odyssey app onto your phone and follow 97.1 FM Talk. And you can listen to us, rewind, pause, whatever you need to do to keep us with you throughout the day. And the podcasts are there as well. So let's go back to the student loan thing here for a second, because Charles Payne was really hitting on something this morning, and I think the perspective, the perspective that the country has on the student loan issue it's actually a pretty dynamic perspective, because there are a lot of people who are going to benefit from this program who are very opposed to this program. There are people who are going to receive forgiveness over the course of the next few months of big loans that they have. They're going to receive forgiveness, and they're going to say, if they had the ability to cast a vote on it, would vote against it.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are going to benefit from this program who are morally opposed as a people first government follow system that we should have here in the United States, saying you should not be taking money from these people over here to cancel these specific debts of those people over there. The government should not have that kind of power. When you boil it down to something that simple, it's pretty absurd. It's what we talked about yesterday in here about if Brad owes Ryan money, and someone comes to me and says, Anna, you need to pay Brad's debt to Ryan. And so then I'm forced to pay it. And then we're all supposed to be cool with that. Ryan gets his money and Brad loses his debt. But I'm sitting here going, what the hell? Like, how does this work? How does this work in a free country? And how does the federal government have the power to force me into that situation? Especially with a stroke of a pen. I mean, this isn't even a bill. This isn't something that's being done and put through Congress.
There's nothing democratic about this. There's nothing, like you said, it's a stroke of a pen. This is an autocratic move.
It's under the skin of a lot of people, because people understand what's going on. And you and I both know that when something like this happens, this is like the stimulus. Everybody is locked in their houses during COVID. We get a stimulus and everyone's like, okay, all right. How many stimuluses did we have? Stimuluses. How many did we have? There was always one. It got to the point where you're like, well, this is this quarter's, and you were waiting for the next one to happen. How many student loan payment pauses did we have? It just got to the point where you knew that they would just push this off more and more and more. People are freaking out about this $10,000 of student loan forgiveness. This is probably just a start. Who's to say that this isn't going to be implemented in the same way that a COVID stimulus was put into play, or a George Bush stimulus in the 2000s was put into play? Why in the world would we look at even the short history of time that we have, the context of time that we have? Why would we look at this with our jaws on the ground and be like, I can't believe we're doing this? Of course we're doing this. This is the natural progression of bloated, overspending government that has no limits on what they can do, because nobody's stopping them. Nobody's going to Washington, D.C. and saying, we have to stop the spending. Well, that's not true. Rand Paul is. There are a few others that might speak up from time to time. The Republican Party is supposed to be the party of small government. The Republican Party is supposed to send people to Washington, D.C. to protect the country from its government. From the idea of having bureaucrats who are having so much power and control over the United States of America that they can advise and push people into staying in their homes and having to wear masks on their faces all the time, and having to, get certain type of medical procedures in order to participate in daily lifestyle. We're not supposed to have bureaucrats who are controlling the American way. We're not supposed to have people in the executive office who are writing and signing checks to a checkbook they don't own. But here we are. And if we're paying attention, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody else who is out there. If you're paying attention, and if I was paying better attention, this shouldn't be enraging. This should be obvious to us. And if it was obvious to us, we're going to have to get past the point where we're always pissed off about this type of stuff, where we're always angry about this stuff. We're going to have to get to the point where we expect these things to happen unless we make a significant change. The only way that this type of crap stops happening in the United States of America, where everybody goes, woe is me, I need help, and then we all just pivot and look at the government and wait for them to put something in our hands. They're going to do it. The problem is that they took it out of our back pocket to put it in our hands, and then we're supposed to say thank you. Here's more from Charles Payne.
That's an industry where the private sector should have a greater voice, because the private sector will be guardrails. Right now, all you've had since President Obama kicked out the middleman, larger campuses, greater salaries. It's just been the Wild West. It's been the Wild West.
And the administrators, that class is growing, and most of them vote with the Democratic Party, and that has a lot to do with what's going on right now.
Oh, no, they're the new elite class of America. The college grads in this country, by President Biden, by the way, have been put above everyone else in this country. You should see how much money they've gotten in the last 2 years. It's mind-boggling.
It's disgusting is what it is. Joe Biden and honestly, if you happen to be, when a big thing like this happens, we're going to cover it on the show. We're going to cover it live while it happens. If you watch us on the YouTube channel, you're going to be able to kind of see our in the moment reaction. And then we have to polish it up so that we can say it on the air in a legal fashion. But we were listening to President Biden's speech yesterday, and we were going, what is happening? Why is it happening like this? This man is in charge of the free world. How is this happening? Ryan Wiggins is going to, is that still happening? He's going to give us a report, a book report, if you will, in Wiggins America at 1:45.
With audio.
With audio. An audio subsidized book report on the story that Biden told at the beginning of the speech yesterday. And you might think, Annie, what a cruel thing for you to do, to make us listen to that again. But I want to know what happened in that story, because I was so flabbergasted while it was going on. We were all just like looking at each other back and forth, like, what's happening? What does this have to do with student loans? He said that his dad's biggest regret in life was not going to college at one point, and that his goal for his son was to go to college and to be educated. And then he starts talking about the importance of a college education and how your college education is what ensures you like the American future. There's a lot of blue-collar tradesmen across this country who vote Union Democrat who are saying, what the federal government are you talking about? What in the world are you trying to say about my existence? Especially when these people get out of high school, learn a trade, are making bank really, really fast while their friends are going to college and getting degrees that don't turn into jobs and have 6 figures of college debt afterwards. And now their debt is on the back of those people who have successfully been living off of the trade that they learned. So offensive. So incredibly offensive. In a world where Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis, or name any Republican that could be in that office right now, in a world where they come out and they talk about how the importance of a college degree in order to achieve the American dream, and how the absence of a college degree is somehow or another going to set you back in the world, the elitism that drips and oozes off of that and implies that that is the only path to financial and independent success in this country would be labeled as so appropriately, incredibly out of touch by these elitist Republicans that don't understand the average life lived across America. Well, folks, that party still exists, but they are the donkeys, and I clean my language for you. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to join us, and we're going to talk to Hans about that Trump affidavit, the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. What is it that we might see here? It's been submitted to the judge. Last week, we found out it wasn't going to stay sealed. What are the facts? Hans von Spakovsky is going to tell us when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. 97.1, your continuing home of free speech in St. Louis. It's free and fair. 97.1 FM Talk. Keep it locked in right here. The place for discussion. The place for ideas.
MidwestWingFest.com, MidwestWingFest.com. Please, 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 considering come to join me in the VIP tent next Friday, not this Friday, but the next Friday, September 2nd. from 6 to 8 p.m. is when I'm going to be there. Tickets are $45 to get in there, but it's all you can eat wings and all you can drink, and we're going to have a great time. It's going to be you and me and some of the people with the Annie Frey Show all together in the tent, the VIP tent at Midwest Wing Fest. Get your tickets now at MidwestWingFest.com.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This advertisement is paid for by Lacuna Ventures, LLC. For terms and conditions, visit yourrights.legal. Attention. If you or someone you know spent time at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina prior to 1988 and developed serious health conditions such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, lung cancer, bladder, breast, or kidney cancer, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now at 800-813-9968. Leaking underground tanks contaminated the drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals, up to 280 times acceptable levels. Marines, their families, contractors, or employees who spent at least 30 days at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune prior to 1988 and developed a serious health condition, called to determine your eligibility for financial compensation. If you don't win, you pay nothing. It's critical to take action and call now. 800-813-9968. That's 800-813-9968. Again, 800-813-9968.
Is your portfolio positioned for the biggest risks facing investors today? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. We have experienced tremendous economic changes in the last year. Today, historically low interest rates and spiking inflation present new risks and opportunities for investors. If you haven't made changes to your investments in the last year, it's time for a portfolio review. With 100 years of combined experience, our team can help you prepare for the risks relevant to today's investors. Contact the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel to request a free portfolio review at clearpathinvesting.com or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
There's a long black train coming down the line, feeding off the souls that are lost and crying. Rails of sin, only evil remains. Watch out, brother, for that long black train.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
You can look to the sky. You
Follow
can
Annie on
find
Twitter
redemption
@Annie Frey Show.
back into your eyes. There is protection and there's peace the same. Burning your ticket for that long black train.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us today. Big show on the Annie Frey Show right here. Next up in the 1245 segment, we're going to speak with Rick Santorum about a convention of states, what that is and what it would mean for the country. So Rick Santorum at 1245. And in the 1 o'clock hour, TYRUS is going to be in studio with us here in St. Louis. So we're looking forward to that. But up next, one of our favorite guests each week, Hans von Spakovsky, joins us now. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer, former FEC commissioner, and author. Hans, welcome back to the show. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I want to ask you about the latest development on this affidavit. And I think that in the midst of the whole FBI raid on Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago, it's kind of confusing for people who don't really understand the legalese behind what is being reported. Can you explain to us from last week when we found out that the judge said that this wasn't all going to be remain sealed? They gave him a week's time to comply. Where are we right now in this process?
Well, folks need to understand that under the Fourth Amendment, in order to get a search warrant is a judge authorizing you to go search someone's home. Law enforcement has to appear before the judge and explain to the judge, we have probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed. And they have to provide facts on which that probable cause conclusion is based. And that's where, in this case, for example, supposedly the FBI submitted affidavits or an FBI agent, in other words, submitted an affidavit in which he or she said, well, here are the facts and here's why the Justice Department needs to go in and here's why we need to search. And normally, when you're in the midst of an investigation, that all remains confidential. And what happened last week was that the judge said, I guess because of such national importance and all the questions being raised about it, that he would consider making public that affidavit. And today, the Justice Department apparently submitted a document to the court which has everything they say needs to be blacked out of the affidavit so as not to compromise their investigation, which I haven't seen it yet, but I would no doubt think that it's probably almost entirely blacked out because they don't apparently want to tell anybody what it is that's the real basis of this investigation.
So, Hans, when you're thinking about this affidavit that it's going to be released and it's going to be blacked out, like you're saying, I can't imagine there's going to be a lot that is revealed. If it's revealed, then it's going to potentially hamper whatever it is that they're investigating. That's their concern. What is the point of this part of the exercise if transparency is not what is achieved?
Well, I would hope that it will reveal what efforts they made to obtain whatever the documents are they're trying to get before they went before a judge and issued a search warrant. Because go back again to the fact that this is unprecedented. It's never been done. We treat our former president, no matter who they are and what party they represent, with respect. And never, ever has there been a search warrant issued of a former president's home. And what we need to know is what efforts did the Justice Department make and the National Archives to recover whatever document it is? Did they negotiate with Trump's lawyers? We're hearing now that boxes and boxes and boxes, literally, had been already returned to the National Archives. Had they gotten to the point where they wanted more materials and Trump was refusing to turn it over? There's been no indication that occurred. It's like they suddenly jumped the gun and took this action. And they need to justify. They need to be able to say, we needed these specific documents. We were entitled to them. They refused to give them to us. It wasn't sufficient to simply issue a subpoena because we were afraid they would be destroyed, and for that they would have to provide evidence. But they need to justify why they went to this. I can't call it anything other than extreme action of authorizing a law enforcement raid on a former president's home. And by the way, I would have the same reaction if they had done this to Obama or Clinton or Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I think that the why this way is the question that most people are looking to answer. Hans von Spakovsky with us right now with the Heritage Foundation. Well, there's a lot of drama surrounding this. A lot of people just kind of assuming or presuming that there is some sort of nuclear codes that might be involved, or there's some sort of super top secret information that maybe Donald Trump wants to sell to foreign countries. I mean, I've seen everything in and out and in between. The wildest assertions of what Donald Trump had in his home. Is there any evidence, like real factual evidence that exists that tells us what kind of actual documents President Trump may have had at Mar-a-Lago?
No, there isn't. And what makes everybody suspicious about the claims by DOJ that always got classified information he shouldn't have and all that is that don't forget, you remember the Nunes memo? Remember back in 2018, Representative Nunes wanted to know what the FBI, the Justice Department, and the intelligence community had done to target Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential campaign. They refused to turn over all of these documentation saying, oh, it was classified. It would compromise their investigative and intelligence techniques, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it turned out once the IG report came out that no, all they were trying to hide was all their misbehavior that had occurred in the entire investigation, particularly their misleading the FISA court. So, that's one reason why people reportedly are so suspicious about this. Plus, like I said, combined with the fact that we've had whistleblowers contacting not only Chuck Grassley, but now also Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, saying that there's been all this partisan decision-making going on inside the FBI office and inside the Justice Department, pushing this Trump investigation, and while at the same time trying to delay and stop the Hunter Biden investigation. And when you hear things like that, how can you not be suspicious of the justification being given by the Justice Department?
I think that suspicion is so devastating for the country. I mean, like the fabric, the foundation of the country, because everybody on both sides of the aisle are incredibly suspicious of everything that's going on right now. And it seems to me like the FBI is not really interested in squashing any of that suspicion. It's almost like each time they take a step forward, it's two steps back, and it makes both sides even more suspicious.
No, it should. And look, combine that with the latest news. Remember, when this all first came out, the Biden White House said, oh, they knew nothing about it. They had nothing to do with it. And a letter has now surfaced written by the National Archives that shows that, in fact, the White House, beginning early this year, was deeply involved in this. In fact, there were discussions back and forth between the FBI and DOJ and the White House counsel's office. And in those letters, not only did the White House help instigate this, but they are the ones that said, we are waiving any executive privilege that President Trump had over these documents, so therefore you, Justice Department, you have the right to go get them. That's also unprecedented. No president has ever waived executive privilege over a prior president's documents. That's never happened. Alan Dershowitz, who is a very liberal law professor, lifetime Democrat, has said he doesn't think a current president can waive executive privilege over a prior president's documents. And that in itself also, I think, raises a lot of suspicions about what's going on here.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, DOJ lawyer, author of the book, Our Broken Elections, How the Left Changed the Way You Vote. You can get it right now. I got one last question for you, Hans. Does the possibility exist that President Donald Trump is in actual legal trouble over what took place at Mar-a-Lago?
When you look at the Presidential Records Act, the law under which they were supposedly acting, I just have a very difficult time seeing any kind of serious violation of the law. That doesn't mean that partisan prosecutors won't try to pursue this. We've been seeing that going on in various cases. But again, when you look at the statute, I just have a difficult time believing that, particularly given the fact that all we know is that supposedly they're looking for classified documents, and the Trump Trump officials are claiming that these documents were declassified before they left office. And if that's true, then there maybe not be any basis at all for what the Justice Department is doing.
Well, I guess we will wait and see what they release, I guess, with the affidavit. Do you expect us to get that released affidavit with the redactions? Is that coming today?
Well, it depends on whether the judge makes a decision. But one key thing people should look for in the affidavit, do they relate the fact that the Trump administration and Donald Trump and his lawyers claim that these documents were declassified before they left the White House? Because if that's not in there, then that's an indication that the FBI may have misled the court.
Ooh. All right. Well, we will have our eyes on that, and we will follow up with you, of course, next week. Hans von Spakovsky, thank you for your time, as always.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Goodbye. Hans von Spakovsky with the Heritage Foundation, DOJ lawyer, and go check out his book, Our Broken Elections. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to learn about that concept of a convention of states. People commenting right now on the YouTube live chat for it, against it. Brad's expressed a couple of concerns that he might have if we were to implement that right now. What would happen? Rick Santorum is a member of the Convention of States Project, and we're going to talk to him about that when we come back. So you're going to keep it right here. And the YouTube live chat poll today is, would you support a convention of states? Yes or no? If you're not sure yet, listen to the interview when we come back here. Maybe you can make your vote after that. Don't go away.
Just waiting on your heart to say, let me ride on that long black train.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Victory in the Lord. Cling to the Father and His holy name, and don't go riding on that long black train.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
You took out a loan for something, you decided you got a bad deal, so now you want somebody else to pay it back for you. I don't quite know how to reason with you. I haven't figured that out yet.
There is no way to reason with you because you think you're right.
Sounds like my wife.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Lakeside Renovation and Design.com, 636-978-5000. I want you to understand the thing about the background of Lakeside and how this family business here in St. Louis, serving both sides of the river, has really built the following and the family that it has. And it's through the good old-fashioned way of doing business, which is first and foremost doing it the best, doing it better than anybody else is out there. Your home renovation inside, outside, your James Hardy siding installation, your bathroom remodel, your basement finish, your room addition on your house. All of it. Lakeside Renovation and Design, top to bottom, can help you with your project. And once they get in there and they help people, then people start talking about Lakeside Renovation and Design because they take a process that can come with a little bit of stress and they make it a breeze. As much as possible, they are always committed to your satisfaction and your next home renovation project. I want you to give Lakeside Renovation a try. 636-978-5000, 636-978-5000. You can find them online right now at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA. MCO.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Hi, this is Ken. And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals. If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Hey, let's get the carpets cleaned in the month of August with my friends at Zero Res and take 20% off. This is Mark Reardon. I've depended on Zero Res for years now. They do a great job. The techs are awesome. They're experienced. They'll take great care of your home. And if you're like me, you have dogs, you have cats, or just kids, I have all of those. The carpets are probably dirty. And if you haven't cleaned them in a while, first of all, it's kind of disgusting. You got to do something about it. There's one cleaning company that I trust, and that's Zero Res. And they can do your carpet, tile, upholstery, area rugs, air duct cleaning. That's a big thing because your carpet is kind of like a big air filter for all the nasty gunk that is shooting out of the air ducts. The technicians, I mentioned them, they walk you through the process. They're going to educate you. You're going to be completely satisfied. So if you haven't tried out Zero Res or it's been months since your last deep clean, take advantage. 20% off the month of August, your entire cleaning service. Call 314-474-2020. 314-474-2020. Online at ZeroResSTL.com. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
And one more big change we're making to the system is we're holding colleges accountable for jacking up costs without delivering value to students. We've all heard of those schools luring students with a promise of big paychecks when they graduate, only to watch these students be ripped off and left with mountains of debt. And my predecessors looked the other way, for some reason, with good reason, to do anything about this fraud.
Well, it was hard for America, I think, in general, to soldier through that press conference yesterday where the president of the United States announced a sweeping measure to get rid of student loan debt for people in this country. Not all students who have loan debts, just the ones who have federal loans. It's a massive move in bloated federal government. And the power of the president to do this has a lot of people scratching their heads. Well, that's why I want to bring on our next guest. Rick Santorum on the Annie Frey Show is with the Convention of States Project, and we are very excited to welcome him here. Mr. Santorum, thank you so much for your time today. We're very grateful for it.
Thank you, Annie. It's good to be with you. Appreciate it.
So a convention of states is a topic that over the years that I've been doing this radio show, everyone is every once in a while coming up and like, what about a convention of states? What about a convention of states? And I've looked into it. It's a very interesting concept. And I think it's something that more people need to be educated on. So tell me about the Convention of States Project and what a convention of states would mean for our country.
Yeah, Convention of States Project was founded about 10 years ago with the idea that there's one provision of the Constitution that was put in place to be the final check on the federal government. if you go back and look at the founding fathers at the convention, all of the talk, you read the Federalist Papers, it's about how you can check power, particularly of the executive. They were worried about a king. They were worried about an all-powerful, because every republic in the history of time has ended up with an emperor or a king or a tyrant at the top of it, because it's just and you look at what happened yesterday. It's a perfect example why that happens. You have someone who ingratiates himself by taking other people's money or borrowing money and hands it out to a select few who will support him. This happens in Venezuela. It happens in other countries around the world where you see republics undermined by people buying votes and buying support by giving specific benefits to people from a diffused group of folks, right? You hear the question, who's paying for this? Well, we don't know who's paying for this. No one can say, oh, this is going to hurt me. So you do these very clever tricks that tyrants have used throughout the course of history. And our founders were very keen on making sure that there was a group of people outside of the federal government who had the power to check that type of activity. And that's what Article 5 of the Constitution is all about. Article 5 of the Constitution provides two ways for amendments to the Constitution to be proposed. Now, every proposed amendment under Article 5 has to go to the legislatures of all 50 states, and 38 states legislatures have to ratify whatever's proposed. The two bodies that can propose amendments, one we're all familiar with, which is the Congress. So all of the amendments so far to date that have been adopted and proposed and sent to the states for ratifications came from Congress. And Congress has to have 2/3 of the Congress support a proposed constitutional amendment. If 2/3 of the House and Senate propose it, then it gets to the sent to the states for ratification. The second method is for 2/3 of the state legislatures to pass a resolution to call for a convention of states. And at that convention of states, all 50 states would be present. Each state would get one vote, and there would be a debate. It would be a huge deal. I mean, it's never been done in the history of our country. So we would have a national convention with all 50 states sending delegations to it to have a debate about what the role of the federal government should be, because our Convention of State resolution that's now been passed by 19 states, including Missouri, says that there are 3 types of amendments that could be considered at this convention. One, to limit the terms of all federal office holders, so it could be from the Congress and senators to Tony Fauci, right, the head of the CDC or whatever other position, head of the FBI. All those things could be limited in terms. Second would be a limit on spending or balanced budget or a tax limitation. Some fiscal restraint would be in order. And the third, which I think is the most important, which is a limitation on the jurisdiction of the federal government. So the federal government couldn't, for example, get involved in primary and secondary education, or can't get involved in regulating the healthcare industry, or whatever the case may be. All of those types of things would be eligible for being proposed. And again, if they're proposed, they need 26 votes. 26 of the states would have to support them, but then it would have to go to the 38 state legislatures. And so people always say, well, bad things could happen as well as good things, but they're worried about the bad things. If you have to get 38 state legislatures to ratify any proposal, I don't see too many bad things that are going to get 38 state legislatures to ratify something.
Yeah, I think that's a really key point that you're making, because as we've promoted that we were going to talk to you today on our YouTube live chat poll is, would you support a convention of states? Yes or no? People have questioned whether or not, if you open that can of worms, then some of the crazy things that people might want to do to affect the future of this country would then be put in a position to be put in play. You're saying that it's not likely.
Yeah, first off, you have to start from where we are now. I mean, does anyone really believe that our country isn't heading more toward a tyrannical socialist regime? I mean, it's happening. I mean, I know people would like to think, oh, America will always pull itself back from the brink. Well, they would be the first republic in history to do so. The average length of a republic is about 300 years, 200 to 300 years. I mean, we're not in a favorable position if you just go back and look at history. Do I believe America is different? Yes. But it's because we have provisions like this in our Constitution, because our founders understood the dangers of republicanism, if you will, that leaders will tend to do what Joe Biden does and pay off its adherence to sacrifice the many for the few. This is why this provision is here. So, yes, I believe we can pull ourselves back from the brink, but we need to use the tools the founders gave us to do it. And that's why when I hear people say, I'm worried about what will happen, wrong question. You should be worried about what is going to happen if we don't do something.
That is such a great point. Rick Santorum with us right now with the Convention of States Project. You can learn more about their project at conventionofstatesproject.com. I would like to know your thoughts. You said that this would be a huge deal. If we were to engage in a convention of states, never been done before in American history, it would be a massive undertaking and a massive deal. You have been in the Senate. You have run for president and had success in the primary running for office. You've worked with a lot of people across the board. And I keep hearing that word come up in different headline after different story after different issue is unprecedented. Never before, never in history. This is something that continues to be part of our news cycle in pretty provocative ways. Just tell me right now where you are in your political career, this moment in time, how concerned you are about the future of the country.
Look, 10 years ago, I was not for this. I wasn't for this. I thought, you know what, we can handle this. I mean, there's still time for us to sort of put the genie back in the bottle. I don't believe that's true anymore. And candidly, it's because the left has now solidly taken over. I mean, I'm talking about the left. I'm talking about socialists, Marxists have taken over one of the parties. And socialists and Marxists are for tyrannical, centralized governments. They're not for federalism. They're not for California being able to do what California wants to do, and Alabama and Missouri can do what they want. No, they want everybody to comply with what their worldview is, and they will penalize you if you don't, and reward you if you do. As the master students in lesbian dance are now, who are now getting paid $10,000 to get their student loans paid off. This is how these organizations, these socialist organizations work. And so I'm now of the opinion that because of that, and candidly, I mean, I love what Donald Trump did, and Donald Trump did a lot of great things as president, but Donald Trump also called for the end of the filibuster. Donald Trump was also someone who, was frustrated with the levers of power and how slowly they move in Washington, and said, we need to ignore some of these things and pass some, I would argue, some marginal executive orders that he used to spend money. Not anything close to what Biden did. But the point is, I see both parties being tainted by the swamp. And I just think the only way out is, people say drain the swamp. You can't drain the swamp unless you have structural changes that will stop the water from coming in. And you just can't say, well, let's hope it doesn't rain. It's going to rain. What we have to is the founders put in place with the original Constitution ways to preserve federalism, ways to limit the power of the federal government. Most of them have been removed. The most important one was the 17th Amendment, where legislatures used to elect members of the United States Senate, and the senators were responsive to the needs of the state legislatures, not the people. You say, well, that's terrible. Well, it wasn't terrible. It kept Washington small, and it kept states as a very viable entity for allowing people to live under this federalist system. That has been removed. Supreme Court's removed a whole bunch of other things that limited the power of the federal government. And the only way to fix that is structural changes to restore our federalist society.
Rick Santorum, thank you so much for the time today. I'd like to follow up with you sometime soon more about this issue, as people, I know that I'm going to get a lot of feedback from this conversation. People are going to be asking me questions, and I'm going to need to ask them to you. So we're going to invite you back.
Look forward to it.
And we're grateful for your time today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Annie. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Rick Santorum with the Convention of States Project. If you want to learn more about this, if you have questions, if he's piqued your interest, if you're concerned about something like this happening, just go to conventionofstates.com and you can learn more about what Rick Santorum is doing with that Convention of States Project. It's a very interesting idea. It's part Article 5, as he said. This is constitutional, and it is there for a reason. Another one of those in case of emergency break glass situations. Gosh, it just seems like they keep happening in our news cycle today. Let's take a quick break. We got to clean up the space in here and make some room for TYRUS to come in studio with us when we come back. Don't go away.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the go-to place if you are looking to improve your financial situation and refinance that mortgage. If you have equity in your home that you can take out to pay down high interest credit card debt right now, it is a very, very smart move to consider. I don't know what your personal financial situation is, but I do know that Stewie can tell you and explain to you everything that the bagel loan can do for you to improve your situation. Then you can make an educated decision for yourself. We did a refinance with Stewie with the bagel loan when rates were super low and lowered the Frey family's mortgage. We did it again when we needed to replace the deck on our home. We used the equity in our home with an extra was even lower rate at that time. And the reason why we've done it twice is because when you use the bagel loan, you don't pay fees that every other lender out there is going to charge you for. Contact my friend Stewie and ask about the bagel loan. It worked for me. I think it might work for you as well. Call or text 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The redactions are in. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. But that doesn't change anything for now in the tug of war over an affidavit related to the recent Trump raid.
The Justice Department met the noon Thursday deadline to get the documents to a judge that it says justified the search of former President Trump's Florida home. U.S. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt is looking over the redactions. There has been no timeline given as to when a decision will be made, but it can go any of several ways: acceptance of the DOJ's submission, releasing an unredacted version, or not releasing it at all.
Fox's Gernal Scott just getting word that two people have pleaded guilty in a scheme to peddle a diary and other items stolen from President Biden's daughter to the conservative group Project Veritas. The group turned the diary over to law enforcement. Prosecutors say the two suspects pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property. A warning across America from one town's battle with the fentanyl crisis.
Police in the small town of Antioch, Illinois, releasing a graphic video showing an overdose victim lying on the floor with no pulse until officers administered life-saving Narcan. 3 high school students also survived overdoses of fentanyl over the weekend amid a national crisis.
It doesn't take much fentanyl to kill someone.
Antioch Police Chief Jeffrey Gutshow urging parents to talk to kids about taking pills.
Criminal drug networks are mass-producing counterfeit pills that look identical to common prescription over-the-counter medications.
Neighboring McHenry County, Illinois, also sounding the alarm after a 250% increase in suspected overdose deaths in the past 28 days.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. The CDC says more than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses last year. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Still a fairly quiet weather pattern, though a weak cool front trying to push in from the north. It never really gets here. Partly to mostly sunny skies this afternoon. With that front close, maybe a spot shower or thunder shower late. Don't count on it. 88 for the high. Tonight, a spot evening shower or thunder shower. Otherwise, partly cloudy. 68 Friday, quiet times. Partly sunny, 88. Same story Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're connected to news and thought-provoking opinion.
The good news, again, on a gas for the national average today is about $3.90. But, when gas prices were on the way up, the Biden administration didn't take responsibility for that. Now it's taking credit as prices are on the way down. And the biggest thing that's changed is that people have said, you know what, I'm worried about the economy. Gas prices are really high. I'm going to drive less.
97.1 FM Talk.
Attention veterans, if you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuysHomesstlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
In baseball, if you're with the team applying the most pressure, you're with the winner. However, this is never true when purchasing an at-need or pre-need funeral. I'm Kathy Cutis, and I'm here to personally guarantee you will never find a pressurized sales pitch at Cutis. Our trained personnel answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you ever find yourself at a funeral home where you feel pressure, you're in the wrong place. Cutis Funeral Home, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Is your roof full of ugly algae black stains? Just one roof restore treatment from Frederick Roofing, and you've got a clean, beautiful-looking roof for a small investment. If it has anything to do with roofing, you need to call Frederick Roofing at 645-2000, 645-2000.
Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
What is it that's made Frederick Roofing the #1 choice for more than 80,000 St. Louis roofing customers? Is it Frederick's passion for customer satisfaction? Is it Frederick's own expert, licensed, and insured crews? Is it Frederick's ability to always provide an immaculate cleanup when the job is complete? It's all of those things and more. Frederick Roofing, the smart call to make for your commercial and or residential roof.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Save on fall clothing items with Farm & Home Supply's digital clothing ad. Live now through August 29. Choose from items like short sleeve and long sleeve tees, hoodies, hats, and even footwear. Plus, we sell the area's largest selection of jeans from brands like Ariat, Wrangler, Dickies, Levi's, and much more. View the ad right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Anytime is a smart speaker time. Hey Alexa, hey Siri. Stream 97.1 by command. It's easy and it's free. Right here. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Hey, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's a big day in the Annie Frey Show. Why? Because TYRUS is actually here in the studio with us, the whole crew in here, as well as Georgie. And I almost feel like I should talk to Georgie first, but I won't. TYRUS,
way more interesting.
She is beautiful, and she is 8, and she is everything that's great about 8. Get her microphone on there. Say that again so people can hear that beautiful voice. Can you say thank you again?
Thank you.
That's the way to go. TYRUS, welcome to St. Louis.
Hey, it has been an amazing welcome from the time I stepped off the plane. Everyone's like, hey, what's up? Which is nice. And then you gave me a great restaurant reference.
Yeah.
And you hit Pappy's up, and I'm fighting the itis. Like I'm fighting. And the ribs were so good. They had all these good sauces, but I didn't even bother trying them.
Yeah, when the barbecue's really good.
Yeah, you don't need the sauce.
Yes. Well, that's good. St. Louis has some good barbecue.
And they had the best applesauce. I got one bite out of it because somebody stole it.
Georgie.
Sorry.
Well, we're glad that you're here. Of course, tomorrow night at the Wildy Theater in Edwardsville, TYRUS, just TYRUS, which is funny because the headline is like just TYRUS and then also Annie Frey, which is like a weird addendum.
It's like it's the Gutfeld show with TYRUS and Tim. So you get used to it.
Who came up with the exclamation point on the end of Gutfeld?
You know what?
Who asked for that?
I was not part of that process. I think it was he wanted different colors because he didn't, because Fox is all red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So he wanted different colors.
Is Gutfeld super involved in that process?
I want to say yeah. I think he's super involved in every process. I think he's supposed to be on vacation writing his book. And I finally had text him yesterday and I said, stop watching the show.
Yeah.
And relax, recharge, write your book. And
otherwise you're going to need another vacation.
And he literally said, fine, I won't. Just because I care. I was like, listen, it's your baby, but you have good babysitters.
That sounds like somebody else I know.
Shut up about
relax,
it. Leave me alone.
And like I've gotten around him enough to where I can hear the sound of his voice in his texts. So like he was very like he was because I didn't even look at the numbers or anything. I was the crowd seemed to like the show. So
you hosted Tuesday, is that right?
I hosted Tuesday, yeah.
And you did a great job. We learned all about wrestling and Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, you know what? And what's funny was, because there's always that one person who or 20 or 30 on Twitter that go, oh, by the way. So apparently there was a third president who was also a wrestler.
Who?
That I missed. George Washington.
Really?
Was a wrestler as a child, but I was like, that's amateur wrestling. Like
Abe the Hatchet, although I cannot confirm or deny it was the Hatchet Lincoln, was an actual professional wrestler. So
I had somebody actually email my show email and tell me that I should tell you that apparently I think it's Abraham Lincoln's mom also has a connection to wrestling.
Yes,
and I
it's
was
a wrestling
like,
family. Yeah.
I'm afraid to even Google what I don't want to know, like what that has manifested itself into. Like,
just Google search images.
Yeah,
no, not doing that.
And at 6'4" and 120 pounds, he was a beast back in the 1860s. So.
Unbelievable. Well, we're happy to have you here. Of course, you have a book out right now. It's just Tyrus. We've got one in studio here. I have read it. My producer, Brad, has read this book. This is actually his. I did the audio book. So you read this book to me, even though you didn't know you were doing it while I was taking it.
That was a fun process.
It was funny because I think that I had asked you about it beforehand. Yeah. So I knew that you were like, you had said to me something like you were just trying to get through it.
I got through it in record time.
And I listened to it sped up.
Yeah. Oh, so I sound like my daughter. Great.
Not that much.
Like a high voice.
But it was a great experience.
Definitely me.
Yeah. So when I first got it in the mail, right? The first time they sent me just the sleeve with a fake book, like a different book.
Just so you could feel,
just so I could see
idea.
what it was going to look like, right? But Georgie got it, and Georgie was mad. She's like, "This isn't your book. This isn't your name. They tricked you."
She's
like, remember how mad you were? You're like,
yeah, I thought I was about to break something. I got really mad.
She's like, "How could they do this to you? All your work."
There's no respect.
I was just in the middle of the book, and I was like, "Wait a minute, your mom never threw you in a dungeon."
We made a few changes.
What kind of book was this?
It was like an Amazon like love novel.
Something that didn't sell.
Yeah, something that didn't sell from the corner.
Like the roses in the attic,
right?
But then when the actual book came, then I had my first Q&A from an investigative reporter, which was my daughter, and she was not convinced that some of my stories were accurate. So she's quietly sitting, like I'm driving, and she's like, "Chapter 4. Is this true?" So I was like, wait, and I was happy that she was reading my book, but then I thought about, there's a few cuss words in there, but
yeah.
I was fine at that, but I still had the memory that somebody copied it, and in my mind, I was just like, what type of heckin' person did this?
Heckin', very good. Very proud of you.
It's very Southern of you. And this show, this is like Sunday school, honestly. Let's be real. What is it like to have a kid on the road with you? I mean, what you do, first of all, wrestling and, working as a bodyguard and everything that you've done. You've worked with kids before. You got your kiddo here with you now, but you go into news. Like for me, I don't want my kids to know the world that I play in every day because I want them to actually pretend like it doesn't exist.
Excuse me?
I just don't want you to have to deal with it because you only get to be 8 for a little bit.
So how we do it is Georgie's very independent, and my son Ciosi and my daughter now, they're very independent. Like, so when we spend time together, they don't really, even when I'm on TV, they're just not interested. They're not big fans. Yeah. Yes, you are. You're interested, but in a different way. So if they ask me a question about a story, we talk about it, and that's pretty much it. But very rarely do they'll ever get like, "Dad, Brett Baer just said this, and I'm so worried about the inflation and the gas prices. Like, what are we gonna do?" Like, then I remind them none of their toys need gas.
Yeah,
so they're good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's an interesting take too, because you cannot take the world and not realize that your kids exist in that world. You have to educate them. The whole job of a parent is to make it so they don't really need you anymore. And hopefully that they still want to come back and visit you after they don't need you anymore.
I also think and you probably relate to this a lot, one of the biggest responsibilities is that you don't bring it to their doorstep either. Like if I have a bad day at work or I had a bad debate or I'm really upset about a new policy or something, I don't come home and share that savings with my children.
Or blobble it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like my mom.
Yeah. You said it. I did not say it.
Dump that.
I don't
she might
come
say
home
heckin'
and
again.
complain about, the student loan bill, which I think is outrageous. But she doesn't know I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
So when I get my FaceTime, it's about her. She's the star. Like, how was your day? And I get really cool answers like, good.
He tries to act cool.
Yeah. See?
What? Okay, Georgie, Tyrus, just hold on for a second. Georgie, what does your dad do at home to try to look cool?
He tries to act like everything's fine, and
Yeah?
then when he's on his phone, he's always like, give me a second. And then whenever it's been a
It's
second,
like, Greg won't leave me alone.
and whenever it's like been a second or something, he's like, oh, give me one more minute.
Is that my
I'm
voice?
just too cool for
Oh,
you.
is that what he says? Oh.
Okay, she's referring to I'm not on her beck and call to go on Roblox to get murdered. Like her and her brother, it's like, hey, Dad, come play Roblox with me. And the two of them team up and murder me within seconds. And they FaceTime me at the same time.
Mhm.
So they laugh while they're doing it. And they're like, no, Dad, hide there. Oh, he fell for it. Take his head, Georgie. I've got it. Like, so I started stalling going on Roblox.
That's just because you're really bad at it. So you wanted to treat you a lesson about you smashing my face into that plate of food.
Okay, first of all, I did not. Okay, that was.
Wait, is
you
this
had
real
that
life?
coming. No. This is
Is
a
it a
video.
game or not? Okay.
We have the documents. So my daughter likes to prank,
Mm-hmm.
and
She get that from
I
you?
I
gotta-
got you too good.
yeah, you got me real good. So there was this TikTok thing. Her and her mother discovered TikTok, and I had no idea about it. And Georgie decided it would be a great way to send me videos pranking me.
Mhm.
So she did that little leg dance. Remember that everyone was doing a little leg dance
I also did it on his cart.
on the roof of my truck.
Oh.
She
And
did the
then-
leg dance. Yeah.
And then after that, when he didn't think about pranking me again, I pranked him again, and I got a chemical bottle, and I thought it would be okay. So then I forgot to wash it out and stuff. I just dumped it out, put it with water, and it still had chemicals in it, and I sprayed him right in the face with it, and he was like,
Really?
Yeah, it was nothing like your eyes burning. And then because my daughter thought it would be funny to fill up what looks like a Clorox cleaner, because it's during the pandemic, mind you. So we're spraying everything.
Yes, no joke.
So I'm going to dump it out, fill up with water, and make him think that I sprayed him with chemicals.
Mm.
When in fact,
Didn't
she
do that
sprayed me
again,
with
did you?
watered down chemicals. Yeah, my eyes were shut for like 3 hours.
Very sanitized.
I would love to, but if there was like a water bottle or something, and like I knew how to clean it, then there wouldn't be any.
Maybe
like-
just water next
So
time.
she had it
Yeah.
coming. So I waited. She had a bunch of friends over, and they were doing TikTok videos and stuff.
Not TikTok, whatever it's called. We were just video.
Yeah, you're just videoing, right? And I just came up behind her and I said, "You have something on your nose," and she said, "What?" And I had a big paper towel of whipped cream and
Had
popped
something
her
on
the
her
face,
nose.
and I was so proud of myself. I laughed for like a long time. When everyone stopped laughing, I was still laughing.
Just like any good
And
practical
then
joke.
whenever I think I got you back for that one
Yeah,
with
you
a
did.
water bottle prank, I was telling that joke where like they say like, what does that sound make and what does that sound make, and at the end I took a big sip of the water, and then I asked what does a whale make, and I took a big sip of the water, and they said I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know,
you
and I
haven't heard this
spit
one?
it in his face.
Yeah, hey Dad, what sounds a donkey make? I'm like, I don't know, hee haw. What sounds a chicken make? I'm like, macaw. She's like, what sound does a whale make? I'm like, I don't know.
I gotta stop answering questions for my kids,
Yeah.
just to be safe.
Yeah.
Well, we got Tyrus, we got Georgie in here right now, and Tyrus is in town because he is wrestling at the Chase on Sunday. Want to make sure you get your tickets at nwatix.com, and you can go there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see this. I've never been to wrestling before, and I'm excited. So go to nwatix.com if you haven't gotten your tickets yet. There are a few available, and I want to see you there. So go nwatix.com. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, one more segment here with Tyrus, who is full of pappies here in St. Louis, along with his family. And we'll talk a little bit more about some issues when we return. Don't go away.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, put your
This is the Annie Frey Show.
24-karat magic.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Look out! Pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know y'all. I bet they know as soon as we walk in.
More people are landing on 97.1 FM Talk every day.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective.
That's the only station I listen to.
97.1 FM Talk, the place for ideas.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. Audio effects do not simulate actual hearing aid experience. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is done remotely in the comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you'd might expect. Advanced hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week for 3 years. No charge. Oh, you people at Lively are wonderful. With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose. I hear better than I ever thought possible. And now through Labor Day, get $300 off all rechargeable hearing aid models. Just go to listenlively.com. That's listenlively.com. listenlively.com.
MidwestWingFest.com is the website to go get your VIP tickets right now. Next Friday, not tomorrow, but the next Friday, I'm going to be in the VIP tent at the Wingfest, and I cannot wait. We had Doug in here yesterday talking about Wingfest and how the entire event is centered around raising funds for Gold Star families that are local here in the St. Louis Metro East. And a great way to sponsor this is for you to check out MidwestWingFest.com and buy your VIP tickets, $45 a pop, and you get all you can drink, all you can eat wings, a special place to see the band, all the music, the food festival. You get access to everything, but in a special place. Plus, I will be there, and I'm so excited for the opportunity to meet you. Come out to Midwest Wingfest in Fairview Heights, Illinois. It's an epic food and music festival. It benefits even more of an epic cause to help combat wounded and fallen soldiers. Go get your tickets now. This is going to sell out, and I want to make sure that you get to be in there, and we get to hang out Friday. It's September 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m., but the event is all weekend. Go to MidwestWingFest.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a week right here on 97.1 Talk FM. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle. This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2022. Save 60%. Code 2022. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Studio right now. TYRUS, normally with us on Thursday at about this time, a little bit earlier, but he's actually in studio with us. So TYRUS, hello again. So glad you're here.
Just a quick shout out, man. First of all, thank you. I got the call for, has it been almost 6 years? It's like, it's getting.
Well, it's, I looked, it's 5. Well, it's over 4. We're going on 5 years. And I realized that I think you're my first weekly guest when I went to every day, because I used to do Saturdays. And you were my first person that said, yeah, I'll come on every week with you.
You know, and it's just kind of,
as
we've grown, it's kind of cool, and no one's really got big time yet. So, well, I don't mean that like in mentality, like you haven't got a call from my person going, well, actually, Mr. TYRUS will only be doing 3 minutes this week, and you know, and it's gonna it's going to cost. You need to do this and that. So I think it's cool. Like as we've grown, you know, and I made that joke. You're my most stable relationship originally, but it has been consistently.
Sure.
With the exception, there was even a pause with Gutfeld during the pandemic, but we still kept going. So,
yeah.
It's kind of cool to actually now be here in this building. And one time you came to my neck of the woods, you were in the Fox studio, which was in the Fox building. So that was cool. But it's really nice to see like when people stick to something and it just kind of grows. And it's not always fast. And that's one thing that like people don't get. And I think now everybody wants so quick. But like this show continues. And it's funny, like at the airport, they're like, "You're going to be on Annie today?" You know?
Wow.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. You know, we have this station has a long history here in St. Louis. It's probably 22 years of doing this kind of talk radio. Of course, Brian Kilmeade is on before me, is our only like prime time syndicated show. A lot of people on conservative talk radio stations have a lot of syndication, and it's a lot of really good syndication. So I understand why people want to listen to it. But the local that we get to do here gives us the opportunity to bring folks like you that everybody knows, because a huge portion of our audience is very familiar with Fox News. We watch Fox News in the studio every day in case breaking news happens. But to be able to have conversations about you and with you about things that have to do with St. Louis or local issues, we are really grateful that you've given us that time, because we know that you could blow us off any day and we would just assume something more important is taking place than we are. And we really are very aware of how we are in the totem pole.
I have a saying, like when you start acting brand new, you know, and everyone, life is peaks and valleys, right? And sometimes you'll be at the top of the mountain, but do not forget that fall is rough. And it's even rougher when the people you stepped on don't reach out to catch your hand. So be careful how you are, because people, I'm too big or I do this, but I don't think that. I think this is a great show and it's a great vehicle. But the city of St. Louis has a lot of history with me. I mean, besides the fact, you know, the Red Sox, we won't go there. But my first, I debuted on NXT in the WWE in St. Louis. I stayed at that really creepy, haunted, like super fancy hotel.
Castle.
Yeah, it looks like a castle.
It wasn't the Lemp Mansion, was it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
You stayed at the Lemp?
The Lemp? Okay.
Man,
okay.
I've had dinner there in like October.
It is fancy.
Not
I just
really
feel, but every hallway feels like The Shining.
Yeah, it does.
It's just a weird kind of.
Yeah.
And then like there was this brown other castle next to it, and like it looks
that's the brewery.
It looks so haunted. I feel like if I stepped one foot in there,
go check that out.
If I stepped like 1 foot in there, I'd be like, done. It's cold.
I'll take it from here.
If you see red rum written, you know what that actually is? It's actually murder backwards. So just run away from
Or
that.
it might be something that you could drink that's delicious.
She's my scary movie buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because,
my other kids won't know, but she likes scary movies.
You actually tried to make me scared on the text messages. You were like sending me ghost pictures.
So we're FaceTiming.
Thing to do.
This is FaceTiming. This is riveting journalism right here. We were FaceTiming, and she likes to do this thing where she drops the phone when I'm FaceTiming, so it's like makes me dizzy. And then she was like, "Oh, she took the thing because under the bed, she was crawling under the bed, and she's like, look what's under the bed. Tell me what's under the bed. Take pictures with your phone of what's under the bed." So I thought, this is a great way for me to prank her. I'll take pictures, but I'll go to Google and find ghosts in the dark and then say, "Here's the pictures I found. You see anything?" So I did it, right? And I was so proud of myself. But you know what happens when we call it wrestling? She no-sold it. I was like, "You see any pictures?" She's like, "Yeah, they came in." I was like, "And?" She's like, "What?"
I was just like, "Oh, it looks like you're just a ghost under the bed," and you're like, "Georgie, it looks like there's eyes." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not that bad."
But I was really like, "You're not scared at all?" She's like, "No, Dad." But so she's watched scary movies with me when she was little. I had Walter Kern. Oh, he was writing a book. He came by the house and we were watching Jaws, which was her favorite movie at the time.
Movie. I would like watch it 24/7 every day.
and Walter Kern was giving us play-by-play of the movie. And when the girl was swimming, my daughter gave him a great antidote. She was like, "Well, she didn't follow the rules." And that's what happens when you don't follow the rules. It said no swimming. And she wanted to go out there and swim. And now she got ate by a shark. You get what you get. Don't throw a fit.
Don't throw a fit.
I guess she doesn't throw a fit in heaven.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Man, what is
Or
it? Don't
hell,
do show
either
business
one.
with kids and animals.
Yeah, I'm not the talented one, man. It's like,
She could have went to hell or heaven. Whenever one of those things, she's probably praying to God that she didn't, that she wants to follow the rules.
Yeah, it was too late.
yeah. Plus,
So-
being lunch for a shark probably isn't.
So Tyrus,
Yeah, and it was a pretty big shark that ate her, so she was probably like,
that's exactly what she was like.
in a minute, she
She's
just
like,
shot out. Like,
yeah.
what happened?
A reminder, you can get Tyrus's book right now. It's just Tyrus. You can get it on Amazon. I did the Audible version, so you can listen to Tyrus tell you the book. It is a super simple read, and it's a great story background on Tyrus's life. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow night at the Wildy Theater. But make sure you get the book and learn a little bit about how he got to here, because you talking about ups and downs along the way. I mean, man, that's like
Yeah,
the
life
book.
is peaks and valleys, and the only way you can climb them is when you clean up your own messes. It's about accountability, and it's kind of become a rare. We've had an outbreak of narcissism in this country.
That's the
as
understatement of the
almost
century.
as bad as COVID, if not worse, because there's no cure and no one's trying. A lot of people don't see an issue with it. So whenever you are your own villain in your story, it's a lot easy to save the day.
Yeah.
But when you blame other people, you get stuck.
You mentioned
Sorry if I'm cutting you off, guys, but like,
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, wait, no,
happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time. And Ryan says the same things to me when he cuts me off.
Well, can I ask you guys a question? You're probably like, no.
Yes, you can.
But
What do you want to know?
I wanted to tell you guys a mountain joke.
Okay, or is it a hill joke? A mountain joke?
Yeah, we only do mountain jokes.
It could be.
It's a hill joke. Trust me, kid.
Okay, you tell us a joke here
I'll
real
do
quick.
either one. How about that?
Your choice.
Okay. So I'll just do the tree one since it's not complicated.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't want people just.
As long as it's an outdoorsy joke,
Yeah.
generally, it's fine.
Only outdoors jokes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How does a tree get online? I'll give you guys a couple minutes to figure it out.
Okay, let's take a couple minutes of silence.
How does a tree get online, Ryan? I mean, you're the.
I would think it just types in its password just like anything else. I don't know. What's the answer?
No, it's not it.
No?
You guys confused?
Yeah, we're super confused.
It just logs on.
Oh, Ryan. You should have
okay.
known
Oh,
that
so it
one.
has arms and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we're all
Well,
college
no,
grads in
it's
here.
well, since a tree has a log, so it's technically it's technically supposed to be a joke where like a tree and it has like a log.
Oh,
and
it's
then
got
it
a double
signs-
meaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it has the log in the word. So
Yes.
I see now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a brain teaser.
Thanks for not laughing. Any of
No,
that.
I laughed. That was a great joke.
There's the laugh.
Tyrus, you mentioned the history with St. Louis, especially sports. You and I have talked about sports a lot. And
That's my favorite thing
yeah,
about
the Red Sox they're just
Okay.
wow.
Don't
The Red
cut
Sox
her off.
the Red
I'm
Sox
cutting
are
her off,
a
'cause
great
it
You're not. I
just
swear
tried
to
She
God.
tried to give me the blues right now. She just tried to give me the St. Louis blues right now, and it's working because I was really invested in it.
Yeah.
The Bruins. I thought we had it.
Yes.
we got to go through that together.
And it was we got shut out in Game 7 at home.
Dad,
you gotta say though, as a
Dad.
hockey fan, I'm sure that being a Bruins fan and that was horrible, but as a hockey fan, this was, I mean, we're the St. Louis Cardinals here, and this is what it was like to watch the Cubs win in 16.
Okay.
It was incredibly painful, and you were very disgusted, and you're like, yeah, it's a good baseball thing, but I'm not like happy about it.
But the Cubs didn't do it in your backyard and pitch a no-hitter.
Ha.
Oh,
That's so
it was
funny.
so awesome.
You have
all
to go to
true.
the radio show the next day.
That's so funny. Not even a child can laugh to that.
Tyrus, you should have been right where you're standing in
didn't.
2019. It was wild
Yes.
down
Oh
here.
my
Okay,
Wicked
listen, if there was
wild.
a city to lose it to, I'm fine it with St. Louis. The Chicago one was even worse because we actually lost 20 games in that series because we had like 5 overtime games.
Yeah.
So we ended up that was worse. But you can't, like I said, you can't have it all. But that's one of the things that I love about this show is it's about as down to earth and common sense as you can get. And I think that's why it's been such a connection for me. And I look forward to every week because it's not just someone who's trying to get a talking point out. That's one of the things that I really like about your show across the board, not just when I'm on, but when you guys talk to people, you actually have the conversation. You don't have a point like, listen, we're going to get out that we don't like this. So this is what we're going to push. And everything will go that way. And our guests will be scheduled based on who's going to fill that block. And both sides do it. Both sides get their bullet points or whatever their narrative is. But I've never felt like you guys had a narrative. we'll agree on a lot of things. Sometimes we disagree, but generally everything you're talking about is coming from the gut. And I think that is what's so missing. And that's one of the advantages that I have on TV, because yes, you have to be educated, but if you're speaking about how you feel and you're true and what you're talking about and you're being honest with yourself, you don't need a lot of prep there.
Yeah. It's just is what it is.
I don't have to remember my talking.
Who needs to be prep to get into somewhere? You have to be this popular person to get into school. No, you can be anybody.
No, we weren't popular. That's why we're here in radio.
I was popular.
You are really off the cuff, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm learning that just from talking to you today.
You're not
You don't do a lot of prep.
Did you see any
You're
notes
not
on the
popular.
hosting the show?
You're not.
No.
No, drives gut-filled crate. Like he's a notes guy. Like he is a planner.
But you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you were the notes guy.
The
Like,
only thing
that's
I do
what
is I have this, and this is a trick from having dyslexia. May I finish this thought, sweetheart? Having dyslexia, whenever I would write, I would get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when I would turn paperwork in, my entire idea would be dismissed because the teacher would be fixing my I's and E's. Or like the word maybe to this day, I can't spell it right. The Y is always on the end for me. It'll just get up and float to the other side of the paper. So I started memorizing everything and trying to speak it. So when I wrote it down, my message would be lost. The teacher would never get involved. So I started speaking it, and that has just kind of been something that was a crutch turned into a valuable weapon being on TV, especially when a lot of times, especially when I was coming up, and there's competition and guys want to try, and when somebody's on a hot streak or like, oh, that's Mr. Common Sense, there are guys who try to throw you curveballs, like they'll send you all the prep and they'll ask you something completely different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But when you're like, oh, and I'm prepared for that because I didn't prepare for what you did.
Right.
So
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
How many times do you cut people off?
Driving or in conversation?
Conversation.
Depends. How late am I? And how fast are they going in the slow lane or in the fast lane?
I need to ask you a very important question that's not that important.
You guys need a podcast.
Yeah.
But
Oh, thanks.
You need a podcast.
But
What?
So I was gonna ask you. So you don't know how to spell maybe, and you only know how to say it.
Okay. MAYBE.
Okay,
maybe.
good.
But
I
when
was just
write it on a
checking
piece of
because
paper, when I write it on a piece of paper, I switch the Y and I switch the E.
So what you're technically doing? So you do MEYB. EY.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I did.
See, these are more indoor
a lot
jokes.
of complicated.
We were talking. We want to stick to
That is a
outdoor
bad
jokes.
speller.
That's a lot of people have that, and a lot of people can relate to that. People commenting right now.
Yeah,
on the live
I
chat.
was just making sure I didn't have a dad that didn't know how to spell certain things.
He knows. Your dad's Georgie. I gotta tell you what, your dad's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad,
he's all right.
No, he's doing pretty.
He's all right.
You got a pretty good dad.
See,
So
hey, I will never ever get a big head at home. Ever.
Technically, you only do is ask everybody to get me a drink. Number 1 on your list is get me a drink. Number 2 on your
Bottle
list
of water, to be clear. I don't have my daughter mixing me old fashioned yet because she screws it up every time.
At least I got my revenge for
This is
literally
the worst Manhattan I've ever
Yeah,
had.
it's like, hey, what do you hate? Like, what's the matter with you?
well, we got
I
to
said,
wrap it up
a
here.
scotch of burgundy. What's the matter with you?
We've got TYRUS.
next time I give you a drink, I'm gonna put at least hot sauce in it and say, "Oh, drink it again, drink it again."
And he won't even see it coming. He'll think it's just water.
No, he's just
No,
gonna,
because I always have her make me a Bloody Mary on every Sunday. I'm home,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It's
gonna
Sunday.
drink it like I did last time at Coretta's, and I fed
You
him
put
the
salt in
hot
the drink.
sauce.
Yes, you did.
We made a bet over the Bruins Blues thing a while back, and I can't remember what your favorite kind of M&Ms were.
It used to be peanuts before I went on this horrific diet.
Well, I have a
and it was
mixture
peanut
of
butter.
M&Ms.
Yeah, that's our
I
together.
like peanut butter.
I have some.
Yeah, she loves
I'm going to
those.
toss them to you if you're good with that. These are for you and your family, and you can share them.
Thank you.
And enjoy them.
Thank
we
you
are
for giving
so,
my child crack. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your
now go.
afternoon.
Just
Bye-bye.
I know what
Now
that does to a kid.
that's a very bypassive, aggressive move right there.
Right.
Because I can't wait to see your kids tomorrow. I'll have lots of sugar bombs for
Here
them.
we go.
I got my 6-year-old and you are going to probably take on the town while mom and dad are working. So we will see how this goes. Tyrus, thanks for coming in.
Remember, you asked for it. Come on.
All right.
M&Ms now.
Get your wrestling tickets for Sunday at the Chase when Tyrus is there. NWA
Recreational marijuana issue. I'm not for sure another substance right now is the right thing to do. If the people in Missouri decide they want to legalize marijuana, make it simple.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here. It's one in, one out.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
At Genesis of St. Charles, you're going to steer clear of paying outrageous prices on luxury vehicles, and this might be the most valuable insight you'll get on this all day because luxury vehicles right now are out of control. You know the whole market's out of control, but at Genesis of St. Charles, they're going to take care of you. The best way they do that, and a lot of ways, but MSRP, they are not going to charge you over MSRP, and depending on the model that you're looking at, you might actually get it for under MSRP. They're not going to mess around with your whole afternoon. You don't have to sit there, well, let me go talk to my manager and do all that. You go in, you know exactly what it's going to be. And at Genesis of St. Charles, they do it right because they have had the same number of associates with them for many, many years because they all do it the right way. They haven't changed because of the market. They're still doing MSRP. If you don't know Genesis, check them out at genesisofstcharles.com. That's the best place to start. You can look at the models, look at the prices. They are located in the St. Charles Hyundai showroom, part of the St. Charles Automotive Campus, just a quarter-mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall on Veterans Memorial Parkway. Online, once again, at genesisofstcharles.com.
Accidents happen. To make your car like new again, call Bomarito. We make it easy. We have a state-of-the-art collision center near you. We service every make and model and use only factory-certified parts. We take care of your insurance claim, any loaner car needs, and our repairs are fully guaranteed. We'll get you in, repaired, insurance claim paid, and back on the road fast. A better experience, a better price, better service, the automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, you need to call 800-913-7340. That's 800-913-7340. 800-913-7340. Sponsored by EverQuote.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
I love my floors.
We hear it all the time at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Our vast selection includes floor and wall products unavailable elsewhere.
And our design staff makes it easy to find the right colors, styles, and products to fit your budget.
Now save up to $1,000 off Mohawk hardwood, carpet, and luxury vinyl during the Mohawk Summer Sale event at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
And get the finest installation by our 100 employee master craftsmen.
Love your floors and experience more at Ambassador
Midwest Floor.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show.
I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my luck.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. What a day it's been so far. Now, I got to tell you, we've got the TYRUS event at the Wildey Theater tomorrow night. And so we have been working to put stuff together for that and excited to welcome TYRUS into the studio here today. So we've had a lot on our plate. And so we got that out of the way. If you missed it, you can go back and listen to it again on the Odyssey app by just rewinding. But you can also watch it on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And we were getting ready to start Wiggins America here, and he goes to set up, and then TYRUS left his glasses in here. So Ryan left the studio to go return TYRUS's glasses. Now, you have put together a Wiggins America, and it kind of materialized out of something that took place yesterday.
Yeah, this was, we carried that speech live, and I was running.
Well, wait a second.
You're not supposed to
Take
run
a
to the
break.
mic.
Let's do this properly. Inhale, exhale.
That gave me a ton of time. Now I'm fine. Yeah, all right, here we go. So yesterday we carried. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. You know I'm in shape.
Yeah.
So
you are a shape.
Yeah, what shape would that be?
Might be a circle.
No. Look, I'm going to try to play victim here because I think I can win the audience in this one.
Okay.
He is being mean right now.
The ironic, we need to fix this camera situation. This one is just pointed on his belly.
Do I look like TYRUS right now?
Is it round?
You guys are exactly the same. No.
I thought the camera might have been pointed a little bit further down for me.
So we were all listening to President Biden's address yesterday.
So we carried it live, yeah.
And we were just staring at her like, what's happening?
There was a good, roughly 2-minute stretch where he gives the introduction to the idea that the federal government's going to cancel student debt. And then, so that lasted about a minute, and then 2 minutes of stories where you didn't really know where he was going. And it wasn't uncommon. It just was a surprise that it was right in the middle of this just very basic announcement that he was making about college debt. And you could tell that nobody knew, depending on the camera that you were watching, some of them were just focused on Biden. Other ones had a little bit wider view, and you could tell the people around him were like, hey, here we go.
I cannot imagine being his staff. And sending, like when you send your kid out into the wild for the first time, like school or something, you're like, oh my God, don't tell the story about when I was yelling at them with my pajamas on and no pants and I was a mess and I had a pate and like that's your kid goes to school and it's like, so my mom, and then they start telling stories.
Yeah.
Man.
So
that's the anxiety these people have.
This was one of those, except for it wasn't a kid. It was the president of the United States.
President of the United States.
And I just wrote down real quick, and I pulled some of the audio here just because why not? But I wrote down a few sentences as we were listening to it. I'm going to read they're not exact quotes. This was me just kind of, we're in here taking notes and things. I wrote this down, and I'll try to read it in the way that you would. My dad worked going to college. I remember baseball game. You get a new car, you go to prom, shuffling and repair shop like my dad. So ashamed. So damn ashamed. That's it. That's a pretty good summary of it, though. And so there is a story there.
The obvious conclusion is that student loan borrowers should have $10,000.
Yes. And listening back to it today, we're in here and it's happening live and it's happening kind of fast. We're trying to take notes and figure out what's the meaning. We're looking for the substance. So you're listening to this going, man, what the heck? So I'm jotting these notes down. What the heck? When's he going to get to it? So listening back, like, you know what? He kind of brought it back to, this is a story about my dad and then eventually me going to college, but it really didn't sell anything for the policy at all. But anyway, do you have up?
I do.
Okay, so I'm going to play the first clip of this roughly 2-minute story about him playing baseball.
I remember going down after a baseball game. I went to a really good school up in Claymont, Delaware on the Pennsylvania border, and drove down to Newark, Delaware, where my dad worked at an automobile agency. And I walked in and I had my spikes, and because the reason I was going down When your dad works in an automobile agency, the great advantage, you get a new car to go to the prom, or a good used car off the lot. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. And so I went down to my 51 Plymouth with beach towels for seat covers. And I had my uniform on, my spikes off. I ran in, and the woman's name was Mary, who ran the place. I said, "Mary, where's Dad?" She said, "He's out in the lane going into the repair shop." Give him my word, true story.
What? I'm more confused than I was yesterday.
Look, regardless of the way the story is told, this is a story roughly 1 minute into a $300 billion spending spree.
Which they're now saying is double.
Yes. Yeah, like 500 billion minimum, depending on who's doing the calculating and depending on how many people sign up for it, which I would imagine is going to be most people who have student debt, because why wouldn't you? But that comes not at the end when it's like finishing up. That was almost what he led with.
It was more important than why he was there.
Yeah. Well, that was supposed to
priority.
illustrate, well, here's why this is a good thing. You go, what in the world? So I grabbed the second part of this. So this is the second part of that story.
And my dad was a well-dressed, refined fella. And I walked out, and my dad was pacing back and forth between the big garage door going into the repair shop and the door going out of the showroom. And he looked up, he said, "Oh, Joey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I thought, God, something happened. This is before cell phones. So I thought, one of my brothers or my sister or my mom or something. I said, "What's the matter, Dad?" He said, "I went to see," the guy's name was Charlie Delcher, who was a vice president of the Farmers Bank, which was a state-owned bank that did a lot of the financing of people who wanted to purchase a car. I went to Charlie and asked to borrow the money. He said, he won't lend it to me. He said, "I'm so ashamed. I'm so damn ashamed."
I need that clip. What? No, I mean, stop for a second and think about going to your child and being like, "I didn't get a loan. I'm so ashamed of myself." Like, I feel like kids were going to get ice cream. That's the translation to your kids.
Keep in mind, this is explaining to the country. This has not gone through Congress. This is solely from the White House. He comes out to give a speech, says about 30 seconds to a minute about student loan debt, then tells these two stories. What in the world is going on? And he eventually brings that back to paying for school, which really isn't quite what the policy is anyway.
It also doesn't have to do with making anybody else pay your freaking way.
Yes.
Like, that's the summation of this, is because you had a hardship. Your hardship is now my hardship.
Yes. Yes, it is. And
I ain't heckin' okay with that.
Very, very, very good. Very good. But that's about as much as I could fit into a segment there. So
it would have helped if you would have been in here when the segment started.
Yeah.
No, that was not. I think we got it all figured out. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we got it all figured out.
If only the producer was holding up his finger saying we still have one more minute.
You know how many lights are in my eyes right now?
Apparently, at least one too many.
There are way too many. I look great.
Brian is like panicking, like, "We gotta go. We gotta get out.
I'm like,
I'm
get out of the segment."
And Brad's sitting here holding the one up, and he's looking, and then he goes, and we get to the point where we've passed the time. He goes, "Oh,
all right." I feel good now. Hey,
just like yesterday,
so oblivious.
When we're getting ready to go to the Biden speech. And we have a way of doing things. If you watch us on the live stream, you know some of the stuff. Like, we see it's happening, we cue it up, we share it on live stream.
Music.
And we're in the middle of talking about something else, and he goes, "Oh."
You know what?
Do you mean? Oh.
In listening back to get these clips, I had to listen to myself do that.
Was it embarrassing?
Yeah, it was.
It should have been me yesterday going, "Well, now I got to filibuster you." Oh, man, we got a fun 2:00 hour coming up. Don't go away.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
You know, the heat doesn't matter. The rain doesn't matter. When it gets cold in a few months, the snow and sleet won't matter to the outside of my house because I have Rhino Shield. You've heard me say that before, but I'm just telling you, 15 years ago, before I was on this radio station, that's a long time ago, I signed up for Rhino Shield. Darren came over. He showed me this great product. I'm like, why would I worry about painting every couple of years when I could do this? And I did it. And I'm just as happy today as I was the day that I made that decision all those years ago. And I've still got 10 years left on a 25-year warranty. Think about that. How many products can you buy where you get that kind of guarantee? Call Darren and let him come over and give you a free estimate. If you're thinking about painting, stop. Put Rhino Shield on instead. 877-25-RHINO is the phone number. Still plenty of time to get scheduled for this summer, or go online to find out more at 877-25rhino.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House doubles down on student loans. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. They're defending the student debt relief announced by the president, even as he continues to claim credit for economic gains.
The economy is stronger than it's been in some time. And we have said that, you've heard the president say that, there's still some folks who need a little bit more help. And this is what the president is trying to do. Both can be true. It's not one or the other.
Spokeswoman Corinne Jean-Pierre also pushing back on criticism that it's unfair to other taxpayers footing the bill, saying the president knows it won't make everyone happy. Fox Business's Madison Allworth.
Even some that are close to paying off their student loans and that might qualify, they kind of feel upset because the feeling is that this program is not targeted enough and that it's a one-time fix that doesn't actually solve the problem of exploding college costs.
The White House today emphasizing the plan's new income-based limit on monthly loan payments as well. The White House urging Russia to give full control of a nuclear power plant back to Ukraine. Part of that plant now disconnected from the power grid after fire broke out from shelling.
Dozens of experts as well as senior former officials within the government in the U.S. are urging President Joe Biden to increase pressure so that international experts have the means to visit this site. Today, the British Ministry of Defense is claiming that Russia is increasing its presence at the site, moving armored vehicles within just 200 feet of the reactors.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Kyiv. In a call with Ukraine's leader today, President Biden reaffirming continued U.S. support for Ukraine. The Justice Department submits a redacted version of the FBI affidavit used leading up to the raid on former President Trump's Florida home. Today's document meeting a new deadline imposed by a federal judge who must now decide whether to unseal any of the document. There's no deadline for that. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Still a fairly quiet weather pattern, though a weak cool front trying to push in from the north. It never really gets here. Partly to mostly sunny skies this afternoon with that front close. Maybe a spot shower or thunder shower late. don't count on it. 88 for the high. Tonight, a spotty evening shower, a thunder shower, otherwise partly cloudy. 68 Friday, quiet times, partly sunny. 88, same story Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Some comments regarding the student loan payoff announcement by Joe Biden.
I'm 67 years old. I would like to retire, but I can't. I've been on the same job for 23 years. Why the hell should I have to pay somebody else's debt?
Mark Cox.
$300 billion. Yeah.
Keep it here.
It's not fair that the working person has to pay for these jackasses.
97.1 FM Talk.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
Here's football legend Howie Long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free, using the phone, turning on your lights, heck, even driving. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. Let me tell you, these things are amazing. You don't need to lace up, and they're even better than your standard slip-on sneakers. This is next-level slip-in technology, where you don't need to reach down and help your heel in. You just step in, and off you go. It's that easy. So what's the secret? There's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place, and also keeps your feet secure in heavenly comfort, which means they stay on just like a pair of lace-up sneakers. And you can even slip into them while you're sitting down. Make your life easier and go hands-free with Skechers' new hands-free slip-in footwear. You'll never have to struggle putting on your shoes again.
Get hands-free slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomeStLouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, the website is igotfloor.com. Reach out to Michael's to get a free estimate for your flooring project. They do residential and they do commercial. So if you're looking to change the office up, if you want to move from carpeting to maybe carpet squares, it's a little more manageable, or if you're looking for something that is waterproof and a hardwood look, they got it right there at Michael's Flooring Outlet. Technology is advanced in flooring. It's always advancing. So you can achieve one look or aesthetic with a few different avenues. And when you go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, they can help you with your budget. They can help you with your selection of the type of flooring that you're looking for, and maybe the padding or whatever goes under your purchase, to make sure that it fits in your budget, but still gets that look that you want. They have the top brands, including the Mohawk Smart Strand carpeting line, to make sure that you're satisfied with the highest quality, the best value, and the greatest staff in the business. You can go online to igotfloored.com.
Long summer days call for extra hands. Hire fast with Indeed. Their hiring solution helps attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. Improve your gas mileage by properly inflating tires and taking your car in for a tune-up. Join Odyssey. And together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
All the sports, music, news, and podcasts that you want are on the free Odyssey app. Download it today and listen to 97.1 anywhere. Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
was exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I haven't pushed this as much today as I normally do. The YouTube live chat poll is, would you support a convention of states, yes or no? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and you vote in the live chat section and you tell us, convention of states, yes or no. If you don't know a whole lot about a convention of states, go back and listen at 12:45 because Rick Santorum was on the Annie Frey Show and he is with the Convention of States Project. And he talked about why we would consider this. It's a pretty drastic measure. And he explains where it comes from, Article 5, why we would go to this length to make this kind of change in our country. Real quick before we move on, Ryan, you did get to listen to some of that interview. Your thoughts on the Convention of States idea?
Well, the Convention of States to me is really the number one way that we have to push back against federal government growth. And it is there for a reason. The founders put it there. I mean, Rick Santorum kind of talked this out. And Brad brought up, I think maybe in the first segment, the idea of a runaway convention that people are afraid of. But he also squashed that in, I think, a very, very smart way.
Without me even really tipping that off.
Because he knows.
He knows that that's a concern. And explain, Brad, I'll let you reiterate what you were saying earlier in the show about the concern you have if we move down that road.
So the Convention of the States is how you can change the Constitution. It's one of the two ways you can amend the Constitution. And the fear that many people have is that, well, if you open up the Constitution to changes, they can change it for the good or they can change it for the bad. So people get afraid that, well, if we do this, what if the wrong people get in charge and they make things worse?
Yeah, and I think what he was saying was it takes 34 states to
38.
pass anything. Or maybe it's 34 to get a convention of states then. There's some number anywhere. It's right around there.
38.
Yeah. Okay, so 38.
I think he said 38 states, and then every state gets one vote. It's not like an electoral college or more votes. It's a vote per state, and 2/3 to ratify.
Yeah, and to me, this is the one way, and it's going to be tough to ever get it done because just like at national level, the states are split on most things too. So the fact that we're even talking about it is good, but whether it actually could ever happen is questionable. But really quick, I think this is the number one way to first rein in federal spending. That's the number one thing that we should be focusing on with a convention of states, because there probably are. That's the one thing you might get the states, enough of them to agree on to do.
So on the Odyssey app, you can rewind our show right now. You can always rewind up to 24 hours in advance. But we had Rick Santorum on at 12:45. I think it was about 12:45. And he's with the Convention of States Project. So if you haven't downloaded that app, now's a good time to do that. AUDACY is the app. Follow 97.1 FM Talk and subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast while you're there. 3 things that Rick Santorum said can be done by a convention of states. Limit the terms of people in office, both elected and bureaucrats, which is interesting. So you could say, like, you can't be in charge of the National Institute of Health in perpetuity. You have 15 years, 4 years, whatever it might be. That's the first one. The second one was spending limits and fiscal restraint. And the third one was a limit on federal jurisdiction. And his example that he gave was saying, you know what, the federal government doesn't get to have any say in education. That's an example. Or other ways that you're going to have the federal governments, you're going to come together to limit where the federal government gets to blanket over states' rights and take action.
Because it hasn't ever been done, there's a lot of questions about how it would look. And one of the things that has come up in recent years is a lot of these states, starting in, say, the 60s and 70s, agreed to, yeah, you know what, we should have some fiscal restraint at Washington. Well, now those states have changed. So can they rescind their vote? That's a big question. John Bonner actually weighed in on this when he was Speaker of the House and said, yes, they can, but nobody has any rules. So somebody could come along and just say the opposite at some point too. So
this is a perfect example of something that I think Hannah should bring up at a college party.
yes, yes, exactly. Convention of States. What's your thoughts?
So we had this idea earlier in the show, or earlier, I don't remember how, it was like a week or two ago. Hannah, you were talking about, you were at a party.
Yes.
And what went down?
I was asking people about if they voted in the primary.
Didn't Red Hot Chili Peppers start all of this?
Yes, that was the stem. Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers came on, and I'm like, you guys know Eric Schmidt? And they were like, what?
Even I barely connect those dots, and I'm with you every
and
day.
I'm like, he loves that song. And everybody was like, what? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eric Schmidt? What? They were just so confused. So then I got into talking about
He's
the
my favorite country singer.
That's a different story. But yeah, and it got into a talk about politics. And I know people are like, why would you bring up politics at a party? And I'm like, okay, well, nobody talks about it in the right way anyway. So
we have this idea and we're really excited about it. We really want to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan coined it Hannah Can Help.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a sponsor for it. It's CojonesInc.com.
Oh my, what?
And the idea is that with, of course, the approval and buy-in of Hannah, we have a service called Hannah Can Help.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah, you can hire Hannah to covertly go to your son or daughter's college party and casually bring up conservative or constitutionally based issues and concerns.
This could be fun.
Yeah, it really could. And just so you guys know, I had Hannah record some lines for me.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that she knew exactly what they were for.
No, I was getting ready to leave for work,
Yeah.
and Ryan's like, hey, can you come here? And I was like, what? And he's
Hey,
like,
can you come here?
That's the first indication you should just go the other way.
And he's like, read these lines. And I just read them. I didn't know what they were for. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Yeah.
So if you see value, I mean, you could throw a nice little soiree when your newly gone to college kid comes home and is a liberal, indoctrinated
teetering on the
point.
brink.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is probably a process. It's like starts.
Yeah.
And then if
absolutely.
you don't get a hold of it right away,
it's when you got to take seriously.
it's when you have to think, I don't know what to do. When you go, well, I don't know. Maybe Hannah can help. And then you hire Hannah.
Are you concerned that someone you care about has been brainwashed by communists?
I'm so tired of this inflation. Thank God for the Inflation Reduction Act.
Then call Hannah Gibbs.
The Inflation Reduction Act pumps a freshly printed $730 billion into the economy.
That's great.
Not for inflation, though. On that, we can agree.
Hannah is 20 years old, completely unassuming, and available for hire as a political operative. At parties and social gatherings, guaranteed to change somebody in your life's mind without starting an argument.
Did you hear about the Missouri primary? What about it? Eric Schmidt won. You may remember him from his work as Attorney General of Missouri when he took on Biden's border policy.
Naturally.
You're not for wide open borders, are you? No.
How can you argue with that smiley face? Stay tuned to The Annie Fry Show for more on how Hannah Gibbs can help you.
Sponsored by CojonesInc.com.
Oh, I think this is a like top tier level idea.
Mhm.
I think you could run this, Hannah.
I could. This
And
could be awesome.
We could get interns that also, like, basically we're asking people to party
Yeah, we just want you to party
with a
and
purpose.
talk politics and remember your roots while you're doing so. Your constitutional roots. Don't check that at the door, but check all your inhibitions at the door.
Oh man, that's good. What do you think, Hannah?
Are
you excited?
I am excited. Also at a loss for words. I had no idea that's what Ryan was doing with that, but I'm glad. That's a great. Can you send that to me?
Heck yeah. And then you can make
I'm going to
some
use
coin.
that.
Jimmy says, Hannah can help. Hey guys, never mind Eric Church. Let's talk Eric Schmidt,
Yeah.
y'all.
Jimmy's a real fan. If you understand that Eric Church joke, you're a real one.
For sure. Janine says we can call it a Hannagram. I like that.
Ooh, yeah, I like that too.
That can be like an extra feature.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
That costs extra.
Yeah, right. That costs a little bit extra. Hannah will show up, but then if you want a Hanagram,
Show up at your door and you open up and you go, Hanagram. If you don't know.
land shark.
That's so funny. We might have to listen to that again. But we do have another one.
Yeah, there is.
There's another one, Hannah. But I think we're going to listen to that on the other side of this break. I do want to, I mean, I don't know, maybe you should casually talk about the convention of states here and show us what you can do.
Yeah, a little preview, apparently.
If you would like to vote in the YouTube live chat poll, you can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. Would you support a convention of states? Yes or no? You can comment there as to why you voted however you did, and we will have the results with Hannah at the end of the break. And if you'd like to hire Hannah to infiltrate your college kids' kegger, we would love to hear from you. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. 97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group, easy to find online at retirementkey.com. And when you go to retirementkey.com, you're going to quickly learn how to set up a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. If you're nearing retirement, you want to make sure that all of your hard work is going to pay off when you choose to retire. You don't want to have somebody else tell you, I got to work this long. You've saved, you've sacrificed. Make sure it's going to be there the way you expect it to be. You can call them now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You're going to get a copy of the second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Doesn't that sound nice? It's kind of the whole point, isn't it? When they meet with their clients for the first time, they're going to set up a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. It's very simple. Call them now, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and the family business of the Retirement Advisory Group are looking forward to meeting you and putting you onto the path of a worry-free retirement. You can find all the info online at retirementkey.com.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by TYRUS Health.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Honey, it's time to leave for the game. Are you still in the basement? We're going to be late.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to clean up the water from last night's rain.
These cracks in the basement walls aren't getting any better.
I told you to call Midwest Basement Tech. They fixed our neighbor's basement and it's been dry ever since. And Midwest Basement Tech even guarantees it.
Don't miss another second of your favorite game because of basement or crawl space problems. Call Midwest Basement Tech at 1-800-848-9805 or visit us on the web at midwestbasementtech.com for money-saving coupons. You don't have to live with leaks, cracks, and mold in your basement. We work year-round and our estimates are free. Does your home's foundation have bowed or cracked walls? This could be a sign of foundation failure. Call now for a free expert analysis of your home's foundation problems. Serving both sides of the river, call us at 800-848-9805 for your local service tech or on the web at midwestbasementtech.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Brian was just telling us about the first time he met Tyrus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all of about an hour ago.
Really proud of it.
He was sitting in a chair.
Guys, he played it totally cool.
I did. He was sitting in a chair right outside my office, and I thought, you know what? We're getting ready to go in the studio. I should probably say hello. So I walked up, but he was sitting away from me. So I had to walk around to his front to kind of get his attention.
That's generally how you greet people.
Yeah. So I walk around, and I'm like, and he's sitting down. I'm like, hey, hi. Hey.
Ryan Wiggins.
What a weirdo.
I'm Ryan. I don't know if you know me or not. I'm on Annie. I'm on the Annie
show.
That is about how it went.
He was like, "Hey, man."
You witnessed it? It was that awkward?
Yeah.
What did he do?
And I was like, I can't stay too long here, acting like I'm just here to meet Tyrus. I was also here to meet everybody else. Hi.
You were like, I'm Ryan. And then you ran back in your office and I was like, okay. And then you were just sitting there with your door open. That's why I went back. I'm like, Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And you were just like nervous.
I don't know.
I don't want to just like act like I want to hang out. That's not my point,
totally
but I do want to hang out if he wants to hang out.
Are you talking like this?
Because that's what I was doing when I was talking to Tyrus. I was talking really fast, and I was like, hey, I've seen you on TV, but I'm like, I don't care. It's fine.
Do you know Tyrus is in the industry?
I do now.
If you would have known you were in the industry, maybe he would have
I should have said
you that way.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you're in the industry, aren't you? I should have just walked by or skated by on a skateboard.
And I'm sure Tyrus would have just tripped all over himself. Oh, Wiggins, man. I've heard of you.
You're in the industry too?
Man.
Awesome. Yeah, you can tell because I'm on wheels right now. I'm wearing a leather jacket.
What?
I was just going by looking cool. You know, like, oh, I didn't even notice you were there.
I don't expect that we are going to have a feature called Ryan Can Help. And it's like,
definitely
no, because
cool
I cannot help.
Show you what not to do.
Yeah. Here's a
master
class in how to fail.
I like how the way you explained how you stumbled your hand out.
It was just bad.
You didn't know. You forgot how to shake a man's hand.
Yeah, I did. And you know what Tyrus can do? He can remind you how a man shakes a hand.
Yeah.
And so I learned.
I bet he doesn't even think about it while he's doing it.
No, I don't. You know, he acted so natural in shaking my hand. I'm like, man, this guy's humble. He's an everyman because he's shaking my hand just like anybody else.
Well, it's because you were shaking his hand like nobody else.
With both hands, trying not to look him in the eye, but also trying to make just a little eye contact.
Oh my God.
Hi. You're
gonna have to see him again tomorrow night. You embarrassed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to show him. I'm gonna have to actually go back to Bob Wiggins and say, teach this to me again. Like you did when I was 6.
Or maybe for the first time.
I'm so disappointed. I'm just so
pull that clip from Biden. I'm so ashamed. I'm so damn ashamed.
I do need that clip.
Yes,
it's going to pay dividends.
That's what his dad told him.
That $600 billion bailout totally worth it. Because I'm going to have that moment.
Yeah.
Some people say you can't put a price tag on things like that. Well, we did.
No. And you know what's amazing with Biden is that he rarely gives you those moments.
I know, it's so rare.
You got to grab them as they come.
You get these opportunities when he does go in front of the camera, and you just hope that you'll walk away with something.
Yeah, life comes at you fast. So you got to grab it, or you're gonna miss
forever. Just, like, apparently we've been holding the sarcasm back and it needs to get out of the body. It's just starting to do it on its own and I can't control it anymore.
And now here's this other thing.
Yeah, totally.
If
If you're somebody who is looking to make sure that those kids that you've just sent to college don't come back as...
This is perfect timing for this commercial,
I
by
know.
the way.
Everybody, I mean, people are taking their kids to school away. The kids are moving away. There are empty nesters for the first time ever, maybe this week, in their lives since they become parents. And they're worried. They're concerned.
Don't you fret.
Because Hannah can help you with
Are
this.
you concerned that someone you care about has been brainwashed by communists? Then call Hannah Gibbs.
Socialism is the solution to our wealth gap problems.
Super cool. If you level the playing field and let everyone work for whatever wealth they're willing to strive for, you'll really have achieved a more equal system.
Yeah,
Hannah is 20 years old and can fix any potentially ridiculous political argument with a couple sentences and a smile.
Hi.
Hi, you are the man.
Thanks.
Traditional gender confirmation. Love it. That's the way to go, huh?
If I say no, will you still talk to me?
I wouldn't leave it to chance.
Then yes.
Now infiltrating parties throughout the St. Louis area. Hannah Gibbs. She's here for good. Sponsored by CajonesInc.com.
I love it. So if you want to hire Hannah to infiltrate a college party that you're throwing, she'll casually bring up conservative talking points at the most unexpected times and just, push things in the right direction.
Yeah, just over punch. We're just having a glass here, just talking about Eric Schmidt.
Why is it always about Eric Schmidt?
Well,
I
the
don't
first
know.
one was about.
It always is.
That's how
it always ends up there.
This is all based in truth.
Yeah, it is.
This actually happened. So
I just imagine like an apartment, like a really small apartment, and Hannah walking around with like a diet soda and just going, "Hey guys," like from one corner of that really small apartment to the other, where there's like casual pairs of people talking about completely different things.
I love that you're sleeping on a futon. That's super fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
Let's talk about other fiscally responsible things. There's a good segue for you. Write that one down.
This is really hitting home because I do this stuff and people think I'm crazy.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
We want you to make money off of it.
Yes. There are some guys listening to you right now, Hannah, who are like, "Oh my gosh, this is a dream girl."
I know. Oh no, there are a lot of people listening right now going, can Hannah meet my son?
Yes, that too.
Hannah is taken right now by Mr. Wonderful, but
always and forever.
Yeah, there you go. But maybe she's got some friends that want to work with a Hannah can help. And
yeah, maybe she's got some friends who she can train as disciples to go out to other parties.
It's all about
12 of them.
Discreet.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
This is not a Jesus thing. That's more important than this.
I remember a radical who lived several years ago. Taught some crazy things.
Hosanna can help.
Wanted to change people's ideas. His name was Karl Marx. Yeah, that's right. Karl Marx.
That took a hard turn.
See that one coming, dude.
That's right.
Okay, I know something we can bring up. Annie.
What?
How did those dresses turn out for you?
I got them. So yeah, tomorrow night's the TYRUS event, and I did a little Rent the Runway and got a few dresses. I think it's important to know that when you're 38 years old and you've had 4 babies and you've put on baby weight and you've lost baby weight and you've put on baby weight and you've lost baby weight and you put on baby weight and you lost baby weight and then you put on COVID weight and baby weight and then you've lost all of that. Thank you, Slim 180. You don't have a wardrobe for a grown professional woman that fits you the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying, Ryan?
We all do. So these are all the dresses that you let me and Brad look at the other day, and you took
and Hannah
and did. These are the top 4.
I tried them on. You guys looked at them on the internet before I got them. I tried them on. I shared them with you guys. So I thought maybe you could weigh in on what you think I should wear to the TYRUS event tomorrow night. I don't know where you want to take it.
Okay, I'm looking at these pictures here. Man, I did not mean to make that sound like I was grossed out. It just came out.
Let's look. Okay, the other day when we talked about it, what dress did you first vote for? Brad?
I voted for the red dress.
I'm looking at these God. pictures.
These are pictures of me now. Thanks.
These are
Ryan.
pictures of you in the dresses. Yeah.
So Brad voted for the red one first.
On the internet, not on me.
Yes, on the internet
Looking at
before we
pictures of
actually
Annie
saw
on the
them.
internet.
And then Ryan and I, guys, come on. Ryan and I both voted for the, what'd you call it?
The
Teacup
banana
dress or-
rama dress.
Yes.
Bat sleeves.
That's the bat sleeves. That's right. The bat
Ryan and I
sleeves.
both voted for that the other day. But Annie sent us pictures of her trying them on.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the first thing that it just really grosses me out is how dirty your mirror is.
Oh, shut up.
Why'd you say it like
There's
that?
just
You're like
splotches
"Your mirror's
everywhere. Ugh. Anyway, looking past that though,
Thanks, Ryan.
I'm changing my vote. I don't necessarily think that the banana bat sleeves is the one anymore.
Okay, why not? You want to tell me why it doesn't look good on me?
Mm-hmm. It makes you
What'd you change your vote to?
look like a
Hannah's nervous.
big squash, big yellow squash, not butternut. Yellow
Let him make
squash.
his bed, Hannah.
Squash. You know what shape a squash is?
I do.
Ryan!
Why? I didn't. She asked the question.
You're not supposed to take it.
What am I supposed to say? No, I don't know what
Hannah,
shape
you
that
did
is.
not look like a
Never
squash.
seen a squash.
I don't think you can help here.
Here's the thing, Ryan. What you want to do is you look great in all of them.
Agreed.
This is mansplaining
So-
to a fellow
So
man.
then you pick the one that you like the best, but they're all great.
Mm-hmm. Which is what you were saying when we were
No,
off air earlier,
Mhm.
when
Shut
we
up,
were
Ryan.
having this
Shut
conversation,
up, Ryan.
and we were being honest about it. That's what we were both saying, right? Right.
I don't remember this conversation, Ryan. I'm sorry.
If you're not in the studio with us or watching on the live stream right now, Ryan's got his forehead tilted forward, going right, and his eyebrows go up every time he says.
It's like that Kevin Hart. Help me. We're friends. Help me.
So, then you know what we should do
I look like a big squash in the bat sleeve.
in the
one.
yellow one, which is why I'm saying just avoid that one.
Well, that's my body, so I'll do
No,
my
no, no.
best.
I'm not talking about butternut squash. I'm talking about regular squash. So it's just the color.
That's exactly how I heard that.
Yeah. Hannah, you should just go ahead and pick.
Look at Hannah. She's got her
And
jaw
then-
literally dropped open.
You know what? Why don't you guys go first?
No,
Okay.
no, there are three more.
ahead.
No, there are three more, Ryan. I need to know. Because
Well-
you know who's going to be the most honest? You. Because you know why? You're not going to realize how honest you're being while you're talking out loud. You know why? There's a bit of obliviousness that is an air around how you're going to describe it. I
bit.
can hear it. A little.
bit.
Just a little.
I stopped listening. I'm locked into the dresses.
Okay. Which one? Or what's the
Okay,
next
here's
one?
the next one that I don't like. It's
Is this going to end with you not liking any of them?
no, I promise. I promise. The pink one looks like a bunch of doilies. It looks like a bunch of doilies that somebody sewed
pattern.
together. Yeah, I don't like that pattern.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say no to that one. Say no to the dress is the name of this show.
This is going to end up. I think you should just stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah, whichever one you pick. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know.
So that's the one you went with.
Chris,
Yeah,
on
sounds like-
YouTube,
okay.
Chris on YouTube says Big Squash and Gilbert Godfrey. It's a great day for me.
Big squash.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're down to two. That means we're down to the black one and the red one.
Mhm.
And now I am going to pass the baton to my friends, Brad and Hannah.
Brad and I.
I want to know what Brad thinks first.
Okay, go ahead.
I stick with my original assessment. The red dress.
The red dress?
The red dress. You look great in all of them, but the red dress is the one you look the best in.
Laugh, Ryan. Just let him say something nice. You don't have to spoil it. Everybody knows he's just being nice because that's Brad does.
I'm not just being nice. I'm being honest. You don't look bad in any of those.
You know
look
what?
good in all of
He
them.
is just nice, but it is to just you. It is.
What?
It's
That's
not me.
True.
It's definitely
I wish I
not
could
me.
reach him and give him a high
I
five right
did
now.
call him a circle earlier.
Yes, yes, you did.
At least you didn't call him a big squash.
Yeah. I hit him with that. He didn't come back at me. He went after him.
Did I say big squash? I meant little squash.
Like I was
mean
called
that.
No,
a
you
little
literally said big
elephant.
squash.
The baby.
Big. That's a
My-
bigger. It's a squash. It's on the bigger side.
I vote for the red dress. Brad and I. So
Agree.
it's, yes.
Mm-hmm.
To Ryan's.
I was really torn between the black dress and the red dress, but based on the room, I'll have to go with the red dress.
I thought you would say black dress.
I should have.
Red
I
dress?
should have now.
Red
It's
dress
the red
looks
dress.
great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the
My
red one.
vote.
All right.
It's on fire. You are in fuego in that red dress. Now I'm going
Folks, these
too
are the
far the
compliments.
other way.
Folks, these are the compliments. Remember, this is you trying to be nice.
Yeah.
It's about the intention.
Uh-huh.
It's the thought that counts.
Again, though, clean off the mirror.
Rude.
So are you going to do it? Does that decide it?
I think the red dress was my favorite.
Okay.
Good.
Well, you are waving like you are hot. Are you nervous?
She's on fuego.
She's on
apparently.
fuego.
I just let you roast me.
Yeah, I did.
Like
Yeah.
a roasted squash.
Yep.
And
Like a little roast chicken.
I'm a little toasty.
Put you on the rotisserie and turned you over until we found it's the red one.
I think it's time for a break.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead.
Folks, if you would like to vote in the YouTube live chat poll, please do so.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Just let me adore you. It's the only thing I'll ever do. It's the only thing
The Mark Reardon Show. Governor Parson, what are your thoughts on that recreational marijuana issue?
I'm not for sure another substance right now is the right thing to do. If the people in Missouri decide they want to legalize marijuana, make it simple.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The following is a commercial announcement.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments and get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Corey Malone, I'm apologizing in advance for this one. Ryan, you're the worst.
Yeah. No, you're right. I am. That was uncalled for. The whole segment should be done. Do we have like a 30-minute dump or is it just a 30-second?
I think it's where I get suspended.
Yeah, it's like 6.
6 seconds. Air Comfort Service. If you are not in your comfort zone, like I have found myself not being in my comfort zone momentarily or even for a longer period, maybe in this case, because your air conditioner or your furnace is not working in good, proper order, you can reach out to Air Comfort Service and they're going to quickly help you get to the bottom of your problem. If that means a tune-up, if that means that you need a specific kind of maintenance done, when you have Air Comfort Service out to your home, you're going to have people who you can trust, people who are going to be able to walk through the problem and give you your options on how to solve the problem to rectify the issue so that your comfort zone, that you're back in it. Air Comfort Service will help you in both your residential and your commercial needs. So if you're somebody who is looking for something for your place of work, make sure that you give Air Comfort Service a call as well. 314-513-0091. I'd encourage you to put that number in your phone as well in case you need them in the future. Maybe you have a loved one that you're checking on and you want to make sure that they stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The number is 314-513-0091. And make sure that when you reach out to them, you tell them thank you for sponsoring the Annie Frey Show and that you're part of our family. They'll love that. And it's going to be great. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Attention veterans, if you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
At 420ID.com, we make it easy to get your Missouri medical marijuana card. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in, so why wait? 420ID is the only company that provides you with a real plastic ID card and have served over 19,000 happy Missouri patients. Open late every day until 9 p.m. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420ID.com. Today is the day to sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card at 420ID.com. Use promo code RADIO and save $30 today. That's 420ID.com.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a week right here on 97.1 Talk FM. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for summer with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Well, Hannah's getting a lot of love in the live chat today.
She's a little squash. She's just a little squash.
No, I'm an elephant. Remember? Don't
oh, yeah,
forget
you're an
that.
elephant. You never forget anything.
Oh, good turn on that one.
Oh man, it's been a show. I hope if you've missed, I feel like I've lived a lifetime today. We said this yesterday at this time.
Today feels the same.
Yesterday I said, remember when we talked to Joe Concha at 12:25? You guys remember when Hans von Spakovsky was on the show?
That was today?
That was today.
Wow.
We've been places together.
What the heck? Yeah, not just, it's been that way for the show. So if you're listening to the show, you've been on this journey with us with TYRUS in today and Rick Santorum. And man, I mean, you guys have some guests. You guys, as if I wasn't in here for TYRUS. But yesterday.
We are a show together.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that?
I love how everything Ryan said comes with an inner monologue on the outside.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
He's like talking and then he's like, well, that was stupid. I should clarify. But it's all out
It's
there.
just happening in real time.
In real time.
Yeah, that's why I asked TYRUS, you don't prep much, do you? And he's like, no, man.
What if he was I spend all my time prepping. Thanks for noticing.
I would have said, oh, neat. I love prepping.
Can I shake your hand?
Can I get a picture? Oh.
I'm so ashamed.
Cool.
Just so darn ashamed.
I always love people who prep a lot. Can I get a picture?
We did take. Oh,
go ahead. You go ahead.
We were taking a group picture with TYRUS and Ryan.
I know I wasn't trying to do a thing. I was trying to figure out where to be in the picture.
He thought it would be so we were all standing and there was a chair and Ryan was going to sit on the arm of the chair in the picture when we all were
or kneel down
up.
in front of you.
He was gonna kneel in front as if a picture with TYRUS, you wouldn't even be in the photo.
There's Ryan right there. It's just the top of his scalp.
Yeah. Well, that is my most appealing feature is from here up.
Your forehead.
Yeah. Mid
You just
forehead.
wanted to provide some underlighting. Just get that reflection to bounce right up there.
Everybody made fun of me. And I looked like a tool bag in that regular picture. Hannah blew it up and was like, "Here, look at you. Look at you."
I'm gonna do things with that photo.
Please do, because I look like a
Well,
joke.
last time I took a picture of you, you loved it, and you asked me to send it to you like 5 different times
Yeah,
because
that
you
was a
said you
good
looked
picture.
buff.
I did. I look great in that picture. Now the one with Tyrus is going to get much more attention. I look stupid.
Were you particularly buff in that picture? Or you just looked buff.
I looked buff.
What'd you do to look buff?
What was I doing, Hannah? Was I flexing or was I just doing one of these
Was
things?
it just a picture of
Was
you
it-
flexing? What was
Man, I
that?
look buff in that picture. Yeah, you're looking into it and squatting and making muscles. Of course you look buff. No, I think I was just standing like this and
You're doing the
You
push
were
out the
pushing
muscles
your
thing.
biceps up.
Yeah. If you look at the live stream right now, you'll see. Dang, that guy looks buff, man. He looks like a freaking model. But that picture, I think that picture was natural, though. I wasn't trying. That's why I said,
I
need
don't
to
know.
get that
You
picture.
keep asking me these questions. I don't know.
He's like, Hannah, show me the pictures you have of me. I want the ones that make me look really good. And then you never sent them?
No, I did.
You know what? Can I tell you
Ryan,
something?
what'd you do with them?
I posted them on our Instagram too. He forced me to.
Did I? I don't even remember that.
Oh.
I had a picture when I was a bachelor and I had a apartment or house. I can't remember. Probably both. Not that I had both at the same time, you guys. I wasn't like wealthy bachelor.
Here we
I just
go.
mean from one to the other. Here's my monologue happening
Yes.
again.
Here it is.
So I had from a church directory, I had to get a picture taken for my church at the time. Well, they gave you a free 8x10 of the picture. I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with this? Why did I even do this? We don't need a church directory to begin with, but okay. I got this 8x10 of me. So I framed it and put it directly in front of the toilet. So if you went to the bathroom, you had to sit there and just look at me the whole time.
Oh,
that was the
man.
best. Now I wanted that buff picture for that reason.
Does your wife get school pictures? Like, because they take the pictures of the staff.
Yeah.
You too, Brad, because my husband,
Mm-hmm.
we're all three of us are married to teachers. Up until I think maybe COVID, he would always get they'd give him a packet of pictures.
Mhm.
And I was like, what am I doing with these photos of you? Like wallets?
Yes.
Who
Yes.
wants a wallet of you? No
And I'd
offense,
always
or of any
find
grown
them
person.
way later. She would never show me when she had them. She'd stick them in a drawer somewhere. And then 2 years later, I'd find I remember when your hair was a little longer like that. When was this? This was 2014?
This is when you were in 32nd grade.
Yeah. Here's my wife when she was at 3,000 months. Isn't she cute?
Yeah. Just so weird. I think it's funny they give them out to the adults.
It is. Yeah, it is. You know what, though? We had for 1 year, and it must have been COVID. I think it was 2020. There might have been a lot of photographers who had shut things down, or they just didn't feel comfortable going into school. And we were one of the few schools that was open. So we had a photographer come in who clearly was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a professional." All the pictures came back. They were crooked. The lighting was weird. Some kids would have you could see one eye and the other was all darked out.
Oh no.
It's like we just missed a whole year of photos here. But I guess it's better than the whole rest of the world missing a whole year of actual school.
I guess so. Something exciting. Just got an email from Trisha that you can now purchase 97.1 merchandise. T-shirts are available for sale. And I just had the email up. Do you still have the email up?
WhiskeyDickerson.com.
Is it whiskeydickerson.com? I wanted to make sure I got that right. But there are shirts available for all the shows. So you can go to that website and just browse, and
The link is pinned to our homepage, 97.1.
oh yeah, 971talk.com. If you just log on there, you're going to see the shirts right there on the top. There's a Annie Frey show, Mark Reardon show, and a Mark Cox show one right there. Yeah, we're excited because we don't do this very much.
Annie Frey Show t-shirts. They have them?
Yeah, Annie Frey show t-shirts.
Yes, you didn't say it. You said Mark Cox Show and Mark Reardon.
Didn't I say Annie Frey show?
No.
The chat was going, please, please, Annie shirts. And then you didn't say it.
The chat is always asking about Annie Frey.
I forgot
shirts,
about
so
me.
Get them while you can.
When you were crossing your fingers, I thought you were. I was gonna bust you for. I'm like, no, I don't see any Wiggins America stuff.
No, of course not.
But
of course not.
But I didn't. I thought I said okay. 971talk.com. You can go there. The link is at the top, and it would be great if we could sell a ton of Annie Frey Show t-shirts. That would be awesome. And go flood that website right now and pick one up. The design, it's on a light blue t-shirt. It's a really, really comfy t-shirt. And I did the design. So if you want to get one and you like the design, I did it. If you hate the design, please don't tell me like Ryan Wiggins would.
We should all wear ours on the same day and then let people try to figure out who's who.
They're like, well, that one looks like an elephant.
Yeah.
That one's a circle.
That one's obviously
That one looks super buff.
That one's a squash.
Although he's standing in a pose. So maybe that's why he looks so buff.
My gosh, what a day it's been. It is definitely, if you missed the show today, get on the podcast and subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast. You can do so on the Odyssey app, but we are wherever podcasts are. And maybe, like I said, TYRUS was in studio. So if you want to go back and watch the show or that part of it, the Annie Frey YouTube channel, go give us a subscription there. We're trying to get to 4,000. I think that what did I say? 4,000 by August 28th, I think it was.
No, you said 3,000.
3,000?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, is that right? 2,500? I think
2,500. Yeah, it's 2,500.
No.
I think it might have been only 2,000.
Shut up. No. We have 3,560 subscriptions
we
right now.
passed it. We could play it then.
No, it's 4,000 by August 28th. Then I'd let Brian there did it.
Yep.
I'd let Brad and Ryan air the thing that shall not be named.
Don't drag me into this.
The attack ad. Ryan put together an attack ad about me. I always forget. What did I say in the email back after they sent it to me?
Absolutely not.
You know what's funny?
And it was all caps with like 3 exclamation
The
points.
idea was, we should do attack ads and like we could kind of attack each other and be kind of funny. And I'm like, yeah, I will then.
Yes.
And I made one that was all in.
Yes. So if we get another 350 subscriptions or whatever to get to 4,000 by, I don't know, Monday.
I'm so glad we're still talking about this.
He made that ad and he like played it for me and he's like, I knew it would have no chance, but he goes, I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
I got to do it. You can't put me in a cage.
I'm a hunter. Rick Santorum was on our show at 12:45. You can listen to that on the replay or on the podcast, but we talked to him about the Convention of States project. If you don't know about the Convention of States, that was a must listen. I learned so much talking to him, but it also has to do with our YouTube live chat.
Our YouTube live chat poll today, would you support a convention of states? Yes or no? And I've been watching the poll all day, and after the interview, the poll switched.
Oh, really?
So 81% of the people voted that yes, they would support a convention of states. 19% of the people said no, they would not support it.
I wonder what the percentage of people at a college party would be that would support a convention.
I'll find that out for you.
Let me know after Hannah can help.
I will find that out for you. Janine from YouTube says, voted yes, but I have the same reservations as Brad. Terry Bell said, I would support this, especially if they were to set term limits. JS from YouTube says, a convention of the states scares the heck out of me. The left will finally have the opportunity to get rid of everything they hate. Second Amendment, Electoral College, religious freedom, etc. I'll get to one more comment. STL commented a couple of things, but I'll read this one. Once a convention of states is called, despite called for a certain issue, anything can be addressed. Currently, too many wackos in goofy states will push for nut job resolutions. Need to wait for now.
That is true that they can call for anything. Once it opens, you can call for anything. However, you'd have to have 38 states pass it.
States.
I think you can only call for anything that the original convention was called for.
I think there's an addendum that you can switch that once it opens up. You have to call the initial one first, but then once it opens up, you can just call whatever you want.
Tomorrow's show here on the Annie Frey Show is going to be a big one. Why? Because it's TYRUS Day, event day. Of course, get your tickets to see TYRUS wrestle on Sunday. I'll be there. I know Brad's going to be there. NWATix.com. And we're finding out that by tomorrow at 11 a.m., the redacted raid affidavit will be unsealed. So we're going to have some stuff to talk about tomorrow. And Fridays on the Annie Frey Show are the best. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to our podcast. And stick around. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
I'm not a America, sweetheart.